Back, guys. Thank you for being here for another Sunday stream, another Sunday special where we're going to be taking a look at your tattoos, the tattoos that you send in to the email scrolling at the bottom of the screen at artmesomething@gmail.com. But before we do that, we're going to be going to take a look at what was submitted for the tattoo challenge. Okay, so the image for the week was flowers and snakes. We're going to see that here in a short little while. But I also want to bring your attention real quick before anything happens. I want to bring your attention to next week's tattoo challenge. So next week's tattoo challenge, I'm going to show you that right now. This is courtesy of Andy. He sent these over for us to take a look at, to use. Also, before we look at that, I do want to briefly talk about the thumbnail. That was also sent in by Andy, who got a good laugh out of the Britney Spears. And I figured, well, if he laughed enough and his wife laughed enough, then it's going on the thumbnail. And there it is. I'm appalled by that. That is both hilarious and horrible. But nonetheless, with that out of the way, guys, I want to show you what Andy sent in for you guys to work on this week. It is going to be a series of smaller pieces. Now, you can do one of these, all of them. None of them is totally up to you. Totally up to you, guys. I know this week was a little bit more intense as far as, you know, I had some people telling me that this week's challenge might have been a little too hard. Okay, but there's a broad range of people here with different skills, so what's hard to you might not be hard to somebody else. So I figured this week, let's give some options, do some easier stuff per se. So here we go again, guys. Link in the description. And the link is actually going to take you to all the tattoo challenges. I think there's like 3 in the past, and then this would be the 4th one. So feel free to do, if you're new, feel free to do any one you want and submit it to the email address below. I'll double check that that's there, but it should be tattoomesomething@gmail.com is the email we want to send the tattoo challenges to. Okay, I think we got that out of the way. Again, this is next week's tattoo challenge. So again, you got a week from today to do these, print them out, stencil them, tattoo them, whatever you want to do to get in on this next week's tattoo challenge, because this week we already have our submissions in, and we're going to be taking a look at those shortly. Also, I just real quickly, we're going to new video should be coming out sometime this week, guys. Just a little bit more tattooing, a little bit more information on what I'm doing and whatnot, tattooing wise. And all right, I think that's all the way. We're gonna bring Andy in right now. Bam, Andy.
Where am I? Am I in? Am I in? Yeah, let me just turn that around. I think I can see now. Yeah, right, Dev.
Good, man.
Hope everybody else is okay.
Hopefully the stream's coming across okay today. It's always a hit or miss.
It looks like it. It looks like you're running a lot better.
Okay, good. Maybe dropping that quality down a little bit, help my camera operation. Also, I just want to say hi to everybody. Art You Later, Smoke, Contrasted, Brian, Danik. Who else we got here? We got Cash Flow. Therapeutic. Guys, I appreciate you being here. Give the stream a like. Just for whatever. Let's see. Okay. All right. So, Andy, you got anything you want to share today?
No, like I say, we've got a series of easier, hopefully it's easier pictures for people to run this week. I did notice a few comments last week's piece that we put up. But like I say, we've got varying degrees of, shall we say, competency going on within the chat. And to be fair, it's as easy or as hard as you wanted to make that one. You could have just done all the line work and sent the line work in for us to look at. You could have put some colour in it. Any way you wanted to tackle it, any way you wanted to send it. All we were saying is just do it whichever way you want. Send it in. You're guaranteed, for us to have a look at it. That's it. Eventually, I have got my new machine. Not that I've had a chance to use it, but I tell you what, Dave. Bit later on that.
Ooh, we're gonna open it here. Let's take a look at your new stuff.
I'll take a wrapper off and lift it top of box off. That's about it with that. So
you've only been waiting a couple months now?
Yeah, it's about 5 weeks for that to get here.
Yeah. Sean from the comments section or from the chat asking how do they get in on this. Go to the description. You'll see a link to a Google Drive. It should be like the first link in the description. Click on that. It's going to open up a series of images, and this week's image is the piece right here. But feel free to do whichever one you want to do, and then you're going to email it to tattoomesomething@gmail.com. Okay. Scrolling at the bottom of the screen is artmesomething@gmail.com. That's where you can send any of your work while we're live, and we'll go in order and take a look at your work that's sent in during the live stream. Again, we go in order. We go as far as we can. We do the stream for 2 hours. Okay. And yeah, so that's that. If you want to get in on this, again, links in the description. You can go ahead and check that out. All right. Well, I say we jump into it, Andy. 2 hours flies by.
It does.
So, all right, let's do it. I got it pulled up right here. This is the tattoo challenge. It looks like we have a decent number of submissions, so this should be fun.
Oh.
And remember, guys, this is all in fun, right? I mean, yes, what we're doing is serious, but at the same time, me and Andy are just two average tattooers who just enjoy the tattooing and sharing information. What we have to say is just our opinions. Just two guys. That's it. Take it for what it is, okay? You're going to find imperfections in my work all day long.
Exactly.
Okay?
Same with me.
Yeah. Yep, not perfect. Just sharing, right? Just sharing.
Yep.
Just sharing.
You know what they say, sharing is caring. So it's,
I like that classic, man.
Yeah, sharing is caring.
Here we go. Lou, you are up. Uh-oh. I don't think we have a tattoo challenge here. No. All right. So what we do, guys, let me double check my email address and make sure it's the right one before I go and delete and stuff. Okay, yeah, this particular email address is only used for the tattoo challenge. If it's anything other than a tattoo challenge, just delete it, okay? What's scrolling at the bottom of your screen is where you can send just regular stuff. So if you want to be guaranteed us to take a look at your work, show it, critique it, whatever you want to call it, then you have to participate in one of the tattoo challenges. Again, link in the description. And there should be an email address in the description as well, to where you got to send those pieces. 2 separate email addresses so we can keep everything in check. All right, so let's see if we got one this time. Okay. Yep. Looks like it. All right.
We have.
I know it's black and gray too. It says, B-Way. My name is B-Way. I'm from Rockford. Let's see. I be watching your videos for years. I learned skill and techniques from your videos. Now I've been doing tattoo at home when friends and other peoples that want to get tattoos, I do them. Here is my works. All right. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit on this. All right, I'll slide it from the bottom up so we can all just kind of soak it in as we go here. Okay. All right. Soaking it up. Okay. Let me zoom out a little bit here.
Well, it's pretty much trumped at stencil.
Yep.
I know where we're going to go with this, that some of the lines are not 100% there. They're looking a bit light in places saturation-wise. There's a couple of lines that are, shall we say, double banged, where I had to go back over them.
Sure.
But then again, there is some lines that you can see that are super crisp and super black. They are in there.
Right.
All I would imagine with this piece, that for me, with it being black and grey, that it's quite dark, quite monotonal. It would have worked nice if the snake had been normally shaded, and then let's say the flowers had been whip shaded or stipple shaded. It had just brought them apart that little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
I'm with you on that a little, Andy. It's almost like I think I kind of like where some of the shading's at, how we have, you know, obviously right in these depths. But I feel like if they would have committed in a few spots to a little bit more saturated darkness, it would have made the other shades look a little lighter, maybe.
Yeah.
And I do like some of the lines here. So there's definitely some positivity going on in the lines. But you can also see where, you know, things get a little shaky or whatnot. But it appears that they're using a decent sized liner. But you're right. In some spots here, we have a little bit of light saturation, a little bit of line passage. I mean, this could happen. But I do kind of like how they did the spots on this snake with a little bit of a, well, in some places they kind of do a little bit of a lining, and other places over here is a bit of like a shading on it. I kind of like that a little bit more.
Kind of, the head's not bad at all. It's pretty true to form.
Yeah.
And that the eye's not bad at all.
I like
And
that they
that's in the
committed to
right
some
place.
darkness up there.
Yeah.
Yep, I do like that. The leaves are, they're decently shaded. I just again, it kind of looks like you were saying, Andy, kind of like one tone, like maybe saturate a little bit more shade in there. Maybe try to use a little bit of a lighter and dark. To get
Yeah.
contrast, use some dark and then use some lights and just use a little bit of mid tone in it. Kind of gives you a little bit of dynamic.
Dark up against dark.
Mm.
Whereas if, like I said, with the flowers that are just whip shaded from centre out and left the outside of the petal, we just maybe either a tiny little bit or even none at all, but then worked on the leaves and then the snake. But like I say, like they've got some of the markings in the snake that have done really nice. Some of the lines are saturated, they're in there.
Yeah.
Like I say, I mean, they made a nice attempt. I don't know how long they've been tattooing this person either. But
I think that's the big, have you 20 years? I will probably have a bit more to say. 20 days, it's looking good,
Yeah.
But overall, it's not bad.
I mean, you zoom out and you pull away from it.
Oh, okay. Here's the stencil.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I didn't notice that was there. Sorry about that. Let me see.
No, but
okay.
Like I said, when you zoom out and you pull away from it, it's totally readable, totally legible.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, B-Way, thank you for taking the time out of your life to make this piece to show us so we can, maybe in the future, just let me know. Let's see. Let me know a little bit of how long you've been tattooing so we have a better way to judge.
A little bit of background.
Oh, this is another delete. So there might not be too many. All right. This is another delete. Guys, send this stuff to the wrong email address. Let me double check this one more time. Yeah. All right. Just regular critiques. They go to the other email address, the one scrolling at the bottom of the screen. If you want tattoo challenges, they go here and they're guaranteed a review. The email scrolling at the bottom of the screen, it's like a first come, first serve basis. Once we go live, we'll start from the first one sent when we were live and work our way up after we're done looking at the tattoo challenges. Okay. Hey, guys, last time I submitted for the stream, you mentioned my lines weren't saturated enough. So this week, I focus on experimenting with different settings, voltages, and hand speed. I think the lines turned out much better than last time. This was definitely the hardest tattoo I've attempted. That's awesome. But I learned a lot. Like, snakes are hard to shade. So I'm happy I tried. That's it, man. That's it.
That's it.
For everyone nervous about trying the more detailed designs, my advice is just dive in. Take it line by line, and in the end, you'll be proud of what you've accomplished. For needles on this one, I use a standard 9-round liner, 5-round liner, and 7-round mag. Okay. I like what he has to say. It doesn't matter if this is good or bad. He learned something through this process on fake skin, not hurt nobody. All right, let's get this open here. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to slowly go through it, but so far, I'm already kind of like, all right.
Yeah, I mean,
pick yourself up.
Looks like they've scaled it. Looks like they've scaled it down a little bit, but I see some stuff. Yes, they've added a fang into it. They've kept.
That's cool. I kind of like the little thing though. They've kept my only thing that pops out to me, just real quick, is the leaves right in here, the little lines inside, and a little bit right here. But if I could just minus those few little things, I think it's pretty nice. Not bad.
Yeah, the lines are saturated this time.
They are saturated. I like.
They are saturated. They are in there. So whatever you've taken away from what we've said to you last time, it's worked. It's worked on this one. Your lines are in. They're crispy. They're black. Are they smooth yet? Are they smooth and are they flowing?
They're getting there.
They're getting there. They're not 100%. But in some areas, when you look at this really closely, in some areas like the top right-hand poppy and the closed-up buds, where the short stems, the little stems come down, and the gap, they've done that. The gap's pretty even. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
They've done them gaps. The leaves, the smaller leaves, around the snake and everything. And you've taken something away from what we've said last time and focused on your line work.
Absolutely.
The line work is in. It's black. It's saturated.
Definitely saturated. And I'm sure he sees little flaws here and there, but overall, I'm sure he's looking at, and like, wow, I pulled that off,
Yeah.
Pulled that off. Ooh.
Oh, this makes it pop a bit more. Now, what I will say is I like how you've attacked the flowers with the colours, the open space, the difference in saturations, the difference in colours, open space, lighter shading, gives it a sense of each leaf, each petal has got a sense of direction. And it's got a sense of darks, lights,
Right.
highlights.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I'm going to be honest, if you pull away from it, Dave, a bit,
Yeah.
I like how the snake has been shaded. That use of black down its back with the black spots and everything. And I'm going to pick on something that you said. The things that, how can I say, the things that are only spoiling this, shall I say,
Okay.
is the leaves, how they've done the leaves, the lines in the leaves, a couple of little shapes on the leaves, and a couple of lines that, shall we say, aren't smooth, but that's going to come with experience. And the more you do it, the other thing is you've taken all this time to do this with the leaves, the shading and everything, but then in the center of them two poppies, you've just gone and blasted orange where you could have used an orange, two oranges, an orange and a yellow, which would just give it a little bit more in style with how you've colored the rest of it.
Yeah. And just the little things that I thought was nice
poppies.
that sells the shape a little bit more. And of course, you can go further into this, but it's simple stuff. A little drop shadow behind that leaf, that petal right there, and the fact that the outside where the light's hitting it is a lighter or a less saturated tone, and then it's darker in here. Helps sell shape. Little highlights here and there, whether that's a skin break or a little bit of white. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean. I really like this piece. I think we could do some stuff differently, but overall, man, definitely be proud of yourself.
Be proud of yourself. It's got a nice look to it.
Yeah.
It's definitely got a nice look. And when you zoom out and you zoom away from it, Dave, it's totally readable.
Oh, yeah.
And like I say, if you take anything away from this, it's just watch your lines in your leaves. They're as important as any other line.
I think that comes with time, though, is really paying attention to those details. I feel like I'm still trying, and it's still hard sometimes where you want to just get through. Not like you're rushing, but it's like, especially when there's a piece where there's a lot of lines, you just want to pull the lines, and you got to remind yourself, like, if I mess one of these lines up, my anal self is going to notice that and hate that. So I gotta try to remember to do my best. You're going to make boo-boos. Wow.
That would a nice, Lisa, that would a nice take on it. What a nice take on it.
Absolutely. Okay, next up. Evening, guys. Hope y'all well. Love this last challenge. I didn't want to overthink the design and decide to go black and gray as I've not done one of those yet. I'm still having issues with getting white to stay in the fake skin, so hope you can help with that. Thanks. I can never pronounce your name, man. You've sent in plenty of pieces there. But no, I never really put any white in my fake skins. I didn't, so I probably have little to no help on. Oh. All right, we'll start down here.
Right. Nice little bit of stipple shading in the flowers. This would have been that stipple. This is what we were saying on the very first base we seen. If they'd have done something similar, because it was dark, but if they'd have done something similar to this in their flowers instead of fully shading it, it'd have separated it.
Because I like how they carried. There's not a lot of shading, but this piece is done in a way that it works because they've got their black, their weight is in these leaves, in the half of the leaves. So it carries that darkness through, which allows that light, that open skin to pop a lot more, like within these poppies. And there's just that little bit of stipple shading in there, or stipple shading. And then just that real light sort of a mag drag along the sides of the snake there, just to give it a little hint of curvature. I like it. It's really cool to see people's
take and people's spin on it. Like I said, I love the bit of stipple shade in these them poppies and that. I mean, it's lovely. I like the take on it. A couple of places he has got lost with shapes at leaves, just especially in the closed bud ones. But other than that, I mean, obviously it's a personal choice on, shall we say, how you do these. And to have half the leaf in solid black, I personally would have never even thought of it. But it's got the effect. that you want in. It's an artistic choice. Looking at your lines have got saturation.
Right.
And they're relatively smooth. They are relatively smooth.
Yeah.
The majority of the lines. There is a couple that have got little bobos on them.
But this is good practice for those curved lines, which I think is probably what scared a lot of people, was not necessarily the lines, it's those curl lines, that are kind of hard to connect and keep going. But again, if you can size it down, it can be a little easier for you.
Yeah.
And this one's nice, not bad. I think so far so good. Got some good ones.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, people are tackling this in their own way.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's no right way, there's no wrong way. We're not looking at that. We're just looking at sort of like the overall piece and your lines, just like we would any other one.
Yeah, and I think here too, we're also looking at like how the piece, like, how it presents. You know what I mean? So you have like how the lines look, how the shading is, this, that, and the other, but also just how does it look? And that particular one, not my style, but I like it.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh. Somebody on my bed.
This is a different one. It says, hello there. This is Mike. And attached is my challenge tattoo. Thanks, guys. All right, Andy, I'm going to do a quick I'm going to do a quick scroll over this one, and then you let me know where you like it. I got to run out for like 5 minutes, not even, and I'll be right back. So I'm going to let you take a look at it. So let's get
it's looking, it's looking very similar to what's on my Facebook page.
That's strange.
Yeah,
very
no problem.
Strange.
Right here, Andy? About there, Dave.
Is that okay? All right, I will be right.
Where we gone? We disappeared. Am I still here, Dave? Can everybody hear me? Just let me know in chat, or has Dave cut me off?
Oh, Andy, you should be good. Sorry, I was muted. I didn't mean to. I was trying to tell you, I think you're good.
Andy, you're good, right? So this one. So fine. Yeah, this one looks very familiar. It's nearly not so far off similar as to how I did it. But there again, looking at it again, it's got some nice line work in it, some nice line weights, couple of line weights. Yeah, you could have varied some of your line weights. I like how you've attempted your leaves. You've used more than one green. It looks like there's maybe 2 to 3 greens in there and maybe a little bit of yellow, which makes it look nice. Snake. The only thing I'm not so sure about on the snake is, shall we say, the pink underbelly. It's giving me more of a, shall we say, dragon feel rather than a snake feel to have a pink underbelly. But I also do like the colours you've used in the snake and the way that you've shaded the snake. And that it comes across as a nice feel. And it's got some nice texture and curvature. And you've also managed to get tones within your colour to give highlights and lowlights within this piece. Then we move on to your flowers. The pink work in your flowers. I understand that the style that you may have gone for, I just wish the darker pink had been a little bit more smoother blended. In these, the pinks in the flowers, especially the 2 bigger ones, look a bit choppy. But it is a nice piece. You've paid attention to, like, you've tried and to lights, darks, shadows. You've got black in. Your lines are looking good, smooth, saturated. Snake's head looks like a snake's head. And like you see, for me, the biggest faux pas on this is the pink underbelly. It makes it look like a dragon. But I'm liking that somebody's taking away on the leaves, they've shaded one side from centre at leaf outward and uses a few greens.
Yeah.
The other side they've shaded from the outer side of the leaf inwards and used a few greens. This gives it so much more of a feel than just blasting them out in 1 or 2 colours.
Much more.
Like I say, The only bit for me is the pink in the flowers could have been blended a bit smoother, look a bit choppy and a bit cut on this. But then again, it doesn't look a bad piece. It doesn't look horrible by any means. You zoom out and you stand away from it, and it's totally legible. And it's got lights, it's got darks in it. Even on his stems, he's got his lights and his darks in it. On his snakes, he's got different tones of brown to give lights, dark, shadows, as if it's twisting and going round. I think, who is it this one? I don't know. Is it Michael? Yeah. Michael, I mean, your attempt on this one, he's made a really, really nice attempt, especially, he's got stuck into this.
Yeah.
And thought, I'm going all out. And it's paid off. Is it perfect? No. Are we all perfect? No. Is it a good attempt? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And I like it. I
think you did a good job. And I trust anything Andy said was productive. I figured I'd just repeat the same stuff in the end, so I figured I better not say anything. That would drag people along there. All right, our last one. Oh, it looks like we got a mixture. What a nice ending. Hey, guys, this is my first try using color. I use a 7-round liner and 9-round shader. Again, I've been practicing for about 7 to 8 weeks. This is on cheap Amazon skin. All right. Ooh.
Oh.
Don't want to get too premature. Sometimes I tend to.
No, but when you stood away.
Yeah, exactly.
When you zoomed away from it, like anybody's tattoo, first impressions
matter.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do. And the first impression on these lines are nice actually as well. Just as I'm scrolling through, I'm seeing consistent lines in these leaves, which is an easy place to really fumble. And it's bold. I really like there's not a lot of dynamics in this color, but for the first time using color, not too shabby.
But it's working. But then again, on his leaves, you look on his leaves, whether it's intentional or not, it's got darks, mediums, and lights in there. Whether it's just because of the skins, it's got darks, medium, lights.
Yep.
Other curves on the outside of all the leaves, most of them are great. Couple. And the work, but then you move up, and he's done the poppies in red. Yeah. And then you move further up, and I think, is it the closed buds? He's put some like oranges and yellows in that.
Yeah, right there. Yep. Helps a lot.
And that helps a lot. It's a good thing that is done there. It just separates them from being too monotonal all the way over. I like it. You see, I also like that he's taken the initiative. And what he's done with the eye, he's put his own snake's eye in this.
Yeah, added a little bit there.
It works.
I think I'd like to see maybe just a little bit more in the shading, but again, he's only 7 to 8 weeks in.
Yeah,
it's a little chunky on the shading as far as is probably whipping that round shader, trying to get a little practice with it. Maybe try some cross hatching, go one way then the other way where you want it darker. I think it's just going to come with time, but mainly just focus on the color and stuff. I mean, nice. Overall,
I think he's tried to do the open poppies in, shall we say, like a traditional rose style where he leaves the white around the edge. I think where it gets a little bit lost, this piece, I actually probably going to go out on a limb here and say that I prefer your colour work over your black and grey shading.
Which I do like the head, though, even though I was a little bit. I do like the head. Actually, I mean, when you zoom back, it all works. It's just a bit close. Just, I mean, sometimes it's like, you never know what to mention,
It's the worst skin. I mean, he's managed to do this on worst skin you could probably ever get your hands on.
Right.
So I'll give you 9 out of 10 for actually getting this far on that skin.
7 to 8 weeks in, I think you're doing fantastic job. Fantastic. And keep moving at this pace. Don't feel like, I'm doing good. I'm going to jump right to skin. I think that's where some people fall short and fail. Take your time. Enjoy this process. Because when you transfer to real skin, it's different.
But what I will say, this is cool. What I will say, Dave, go ahead, it's 7 to 8 weeks in, did he say? Yeah. And you zoom out a bit.
Jeez, look at these lines.
But that's what I'm just going to say to you. You look at these lines. They're smooth.
Yeah, they are.
They are smooth. the crispy. I can't see too many double bang lines. You know, and if he has gone over it twice, he's managed to get back in on top of his existing line and pull it again.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, did a good job in that.
And he's done a good job of that. And you look at these lines, he's done a good, for 7 to 8 weeks in, this person has done a good job on these lines. The smooth, and like you said, the curves around the flowers. And you look at the snake, you look at the curves on the snake, the smooth, and they keep with each other. They're not, one side of it's not going, and the other side's not coming in and going all over. So, like I say, I mean, good work for 7 to 8 weeks in. You can't take that away from him.
Definitely. Even all these little ovals and stuff, just very symmetrical, very well done. Yeah, and it's on the fake skin it's on. You're only going to go have a better result with better quality fake skin, obviously. But yeah, to get these results out of some boo-boo fake skin, fantastic job, man.
Yeah, done really well there, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. Refresh this, make sure we miss anything. Okay, guys, that's pretty much it for the tattoo challenge. Those are the pieces that were submitted this week. Again, in the description below, you're going to see links to link to the tattoo challenge. Okay, and right there's going to be a Google Drive link. Click that link in the description there. It's going to take you to the tattoo challenge images. I think there's 4 of them. Here in a little bit, I will put the email address in the description. For some reason, I did not put the correct email address for you guys to send those to in the description. But if you're watching now, I'll tell you. And after the stream, I'll put that email address under the link in the description. That email address is tattoomesomething@gmail.com. That's for your submissions for the tattoo challenge. If you just want us to check out your work, then you're going to send that to what is scrolling at the bottom of the screen, which is what we're going to be going to right now. We're going to be taking a look at stuff that has been sent in. I'm getting that prepared for you guys.
Just want to, are you wanting to put that picture of this week's up before we swap over onto other ones, Dave?
Right here, guys. Again, this is this week's challenge. We got some word last week that some people were talking about how last week's and the stuff we just looked at was was really hard. But again, if you're just tattooing lines, you're going line for line, doesn't matter what that line is doing. All you're doing is tattooing lines. And then if you want to color in, you can shade it. So again, but nonetheless, we figured, here you go, guys. You got a mushroom, a butterfly, and a baby Yoda, courtesy of Andy here. And yeah, so do one, do all 3, doesn't matter. Print them, stencil them, tattoo them, color them, shade them, watercolor them, and whatever you want to do. Photograph your work. Email it to tattoomesomething@gmail.com.
Even if they want, because I think you've put in the description for the link to these. I think when you go on now, you can, all the past pieces that we've set are there as well. So if anybody wants to go back and do any of them as well and send them in next week, as long as it's one of the pieces that we've sort of like drawn or put up or whatever, you'll get a critique.
Yep, that's a good way, because here on the live stream, we review your work that is sent in while we're live. Some weeks we might be able to get to everybody, and some weeks we won't. Sometimes you're not going to be able to be here Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to submit your work. But if you do one of these pieces and send them to the other email address, then next week, no matter when they were sent in, we're going to check them out. Okay, so anyhow, that's why we did that. And those are there for you guys. Do any one you want. This is just the next week. Every week or every 2 weeks, we're going to add a new one. And that's what this one is. Okay, so we have this here. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. And here we are big on the screen, which hopefully will only be for just a moment. I'm going to get our other email address pulled up here. Here we go. Get rid of that one. Show on screen. Bam. Oh, right. Yeah, this is them. All right. So we start from the first one sent in when we went live, which would be 543, which is John. So we're going to take a look at John's piece here, guys. Again, if you're watching, you're enjoying the stream, you're just hanging out, whatever you're doing, give the stream a like. I would much appreciate it. So yeah, with that being said, let's jump into this. John, hi guys. First is the stencil. That's how all of them were turning out until I seen Date's video of the best stencil solution this morning. Oh, maybe he's meant Dave's. Okay. Dead tall, LOL. 2-1 is on both. Okay. It's so broken English there. I'm not gonna fight myself.
Ooh,
Okay.
won't
All
have even. I
right.
won't attempt to tackle that.
Yeah, that's tough. Unless that's like dry, and that's what you get. Maybe, but boy, that is a tough one. And it's also on pretty rough, very thin fake skin.
Yeah.
So it's all stacked against you. Okay, he did tattoo it.
Wow.
One more time.
I tell
One more
you what,
time.
you were
Go ahead,
brave to
Andy.
take that. Brave to take that stencil on with it being so like. No chance.
Well, I'm gonna say there's some stuff that's good in one and it's not good in the other. This circle in the background here. Oh man, that's what happens when you don't have a stencil.
Yeah.
Or you're not following one.
Circles are hard enough to pull when you've got a line there and you've got a stencil, but without a stencil or a broken stencil, or it's too light, you're just setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah. Yeah, and then when you also look here, I like how he did the hair over here more than over here. I don't know if it was intentional, but it's a bit darker. But you're going to want to definitely keep working on your lines. What I do like is they have a good saturation, meaning they're, you know what I mean? They're not light. They're in there. They just, look a little shaky, a little hesitant, a little bit of wobbles here and there. But it's fake skin. I don't know how long you've been tattooing. It's just fake skin. So,
yeah, we've all got to start somewhere. We've all got to practice
absolutely.
somewhere.
And this is better than this one. So if this was the second take, this one's better in most places, not all places, but
yeah, obviously there's still areas. No, obviously there's still areas this person's got to work on.
Yeah.
And you've also, as well as us saying, you've also got to be able to stand back and look at your own work and think, yeah, that's not quite as smooth as what it should be. That don't come to a sharper point, or I mean, I need to pick my game up on this or whatever. You've got to be, like we said before, your own worst critique.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I don't think he says how long he's been tattooing either, does he?
No, and I just think that, maybe pick a smaller piece. Doesn't have to fill up the entire pig skin. Maybe just do a few little skulls or something. Look at each one of those lines you made. How do they look? Are they crisp? Are they smooth? Are you unhappy with it? Do another few little skulls or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
You don't have to commit to some big piece here, and but let's move, see what else we got. Okay, looks like they're rolling with maybe a thicker liner or a round shader this time. And you notice with these thicker liners, some of the jaggedness kind of is less visible. You can see it here, but it's less visible. If this were with a smaller needle, you'd see these a bit more. So it is good if you're a little new to tattooing and whatnot. Use a thicker liner. It gives you a little bit of wiggle room, and then slowly work smaller as time goes on, as your hands and everything becomes a bit better. But this certainly is not perfect. I'm not sure of this image. I don't know anything about it, so I'm not sure. I'm sure his head's supposed to be that way, I guess. What do we got here?
Got Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we know who it is. So that's a bonus compared to some that we've seen. So we actually know who it is when we can make out who it is. What I will say is, could have done with a clean.
Yeah.
You need to clean your work off when you're done to send it in, because there's a lot of ink spatter left on this. And I've said it once, I'll say it again, whether it's cheap skin or whatever, I've found, and I swear by, baby oil, I'll clean it up. Baby oil, rub it in, put it on tissue, another piece of tissue to wipe off with, totally clean. Never had a problem. But
yeah, the baby oil.
This is better than all the rest. This is the best out of the ones that
agreed
you've sent.
Agreed.
The black
it's still on bad fake skin too.
Yeah, but the blacks looks to be in black, if you understand, in the head, in the where it is saturated it in, and like you say, some of the lines, especially around the belt, I don't know whether you've dropped the ball on it and gone over it a few times and made it thicker, or whether it was supposed to be thicker on this. But this is definitely a lot better than the other pieces. But just got to keep working on your line work.
Yeah, I think that's it. We do see, like you said, Andy, a small improvement as he moves along. And that's what it's about. And then if you get a better fake skin, And again, just kind of don't try to do any shading stuff yet. Why don't bother with shading? Just stick with what you're doing and just get those lines to the next level up, and then incorporate something new. Work on that for a little while, and then in tattooing, it always feels like one step forward, two steps back. Step forward, two steps back. You think you got it, and then you're like, oh crap, I don't. You think you got it, and then oh crap, I don't. So patience is a virtue here. This is from my boy Contrasted. All right, let me get ready over here. All right, what's happening, Dave and Andy? Smash the like button. Look at this, Contra. Boy, you're on it. Smash the like button and give Dave a follow and Andy a follow. Got some time to design a couple pieces I'll be doing on real skin here pretty soon. Oh, okay. Someone just because, and one I did that I already put on the individual. Fake skin was a 4-inch image. Guy saw it and said, cover my shoulder. That made me slightly nervous. As you will see zoomed in, I'll definitely need to sculpt some lines and touch up some of the black pack. Hope you both are doing well. All right, let's see what we got
doing
here.
Well, yeah.
Oh, that's burp. Excuse me. I like this. Ooh, that is one nice looking line running down there. Yeah. I like the thick lines throughout, thin lines.
Yep.
The shading, the heavy black right through here. Like it needs that heavy black. Tattoos most of the time need some sort of form of darkness.
But have you also noticed just the slight hints of shading and let lots of open space on this ear work perfect?
Absolutely. Just put the dark where it needed to be.
Yeah. Not going over the top. I'm assuming it looks like some sort of cone, chip cone or whatever it is that ER's sat in.
And then you got the lines in there for the shading a little bit too.
Yeah.
You know, really cool.
Off the tail with a bow. Lines are looking clean. Yeah. A couple of tiny little bits, but we all get that. I'm not going to dive in nitpick, but too much. But nice use of line weights.
Absolutely. Okay, so now we got a little bit of color work going on here. The lines are looking pretty good. It seems like you got a decent grasp on lining, you know. These are smaller lines, not necessarily super bold, but they all look relatively saturated. I wish, and Andy, I think you're probably going to agree, I kind of, and it might just be me, a little bit more yellow in these leaves.
Yeah. Separate.
Yeah.
If what I'd say contrasted, use a dark green, either a dark green, soldier green, or whatever. Then jump from there. Try using a lime green and then a golden yellow. Them three colours, or a combination of them three colours, you can make up what you want in a leaf, and especially with this style. Where I'm lost a little bit would have been in the flowers, where it'd have been nice to just have a little bit
more color.
I don't know. They're just a bit more colour and a bit more light. And I'm assuming is it a blackberry that's up top right?
Yeah, I think that's what that is. It looks like a blackberry of some kind.
Yeah, what I'd say to you, Conscious, if you actually look at a blackberry, you'll find that it's black. It's got bits of purple in it. It's got bits of blue in it, and everything. So just thinking that up, and that's just in. That just comes with playing with colours. That's all that is. That's just going to come with playing with colours.
Yeah.
But looking at his line work, looking at his little lines that are in the leaves, you're not really going to pick much fault with his line work.
No, I think it's nice for what it is.
It'd be a bit and looking at it overall, it'd be a bit unfair to do that, because we all have.
Oh, absolutely.
We all have stuff in a zone.
Oh yeah.
It's just, if you're going to play with colour contrasted, it's just a case of playing with colour. Sometimes you can go in it and do it like this and think to yourself, looks a bit, it can still look monotonal in colour. So then you might think it looks a bit monotonal. So what I'll do is I'll crack out a darker purple, I'll go in. I'll tell you what, I crack out a really light pink going round outside, you know, and put some in it. And that,
because where this black is, Andy, a lot of times in some color pieces, what I'll try to do where there's black is use a really deep purple and kind of pull and kind of come out of those purples, because you know they're very dark and they can help replace a black with a color and then work your way out of a little bit too. So I think that could have been done in some of these dark spots as
Yeah, and
well, where
it's
this gets a little dark. We only get a little bit of pink here, and like you said, maybe just a variety of more colors, and maybe a little bit more saturation
and
of the colors as well.
yeah,
But that comes
and
with
this
practice.
yeah, and I think the style that it's gone for on here, and I still say it, and I say it always, and we've talked. Don't use black. Don't use black in a color piece to tone your colors out. Don't use it.
Mm-hmm.
Go dark. Use like Dave says. Use a purple if you're using a deep, really deep, rich pink. Add a purple into it. Deep blue, bit of brown, whatever. Use black as a last resort, but use another color to deepen off. It's like sometimes if you want a lighter, brighter green, instead of dipping straight in a white, dip it into a yellow. It will give you a brighter green.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see what else we got here.
Oh, cool.
But real quick on that one though, all that being said, still a nice piece and good lining, contrast.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, this is cool.
Yeah, I like this piece.
Yeah, it's got dark. I think there's enough black in this bird to hold it down, which is good.
Yep.
And then you can get away with some nice light, almost line shading, if you will.
Yeah, like sketchy shading.
Yeah, yeah, and then just a little bit of tones here and there.
I like how he's kept the handle of the axe nice and light to separate it away from the crow, raven.
Yeah.
And then pull the darkness in the axe, further down. Yeah, works.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Yeah.
Nice job.
I think it's cool. I love doing this stuff because I look at this, I'm like, ooh, I would have done this, that, and the other, but it doesn't make it any better. It just makes it different,
Yeah.
It's just different. This is a nice piece.
Good job. If you look, I'll tell you what's a nice little touch. If where the wooden handle attaches to the axe, if you can get in on that, he's even gone to the effort to put in some like grain and darkness and whatever, where the wooden handle attaches into axe blade.
Yeah.
And
see what he sent us. Oh, okay. Okay. So he did say in the chat that he did it in black and gray and then threw color over top of it just for practice purposes, which is cool.
Which is cool. I think you did right to throw color over it.
Yeah.
So it looks way lost on black and gray.
Yeah, it does. It gets a little lost there between what's what here and there. Sorry, I kept clicking that damn thing. I don't know why it was doing that. All right. So this is the piece he put on skin.
Look at the turtle.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, what I will say to you, the contrast is, and I'll put it out there. And you're gonna vouch for this. Tattooing somebody's skin is nothing like tattooing fake skin on a hard surface on your desk. It behaves totally different. And this is why I say that when you're tattooing fake skin, start off with it on a hard surface on your desk. Then get a piece of foam, half-inch foam, inch foam or whatever, put it under it. Try doing the same tattoo. It will act totally different. Don't let Mrs. catch you, but go get a cushion off your sofa. Put it over that. It'll act different again. Or get a roll of tissue paper, couch roll, drop it over top of that, then try pulling straight lines over a curved surface. Totally different again, as well as try to hold it down and stretch it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just, like I said, my input. Yeah, and it don't move and twitch, correct. But it's right. It don't move and twitch. It doesn't complain.
No.
It doesn't. The thing is, it doesn't breathe.
No.
That's another thing. It doesn't breathe.
And it doesn't change from inch to inch to spot to spot.
Yeah,
the skin here, different from the skin here, and different from the skin here, and different from the skin here. Go ahead, Andy.
The skins, even though they'll be laid down like that, if they're talking to you, the shoulder will still be moving.
Mm-hmm.
It still moves. If they're talking to you, everything still moves. Each part of the body's all interconnected. It moves.
I know.
So,
yeah, people will say, "Oh, I'm sorry. Is that?" I'm moving. They're moving their hands up here while you're tattooing their leg. It's like I feel every bit of that, and I'm in between you moving around trying to tattoo because I want you to be able to talk, but sometimes I have to tell. You know what I mean? Hey, can you stop talking with your hands? Or you know what I mean? Try to find nice ways, me anyhow, to tell people to chill out a little bit because it's affecting your tattoo. So
yeah. But what I'm going to say is, you now know the difference between fake skin and real skin.
Yeah.
And looking at this piece compared to your fake skin work, and especially if this is one of your earlier pieces, it's how I would imagine. It's how I would imagine it to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Figuring out and thinking, you said, "Oh shit, this moves. This does this. That does that," and then try to work out on fly, and then thinking to yourself when you're halfway through it, "Oh crap! I wish I hadn't gone so big. I wish I'd have stuck to something that were a bit smaller. I'll just be glad when I get to end of this piece." But it's not a bad piece. It's got redeeming features on it. Like you say, there's nothing that can't be fixed going back in with another liner or a slightly fatter liner, this, that, and other. It's not. It doesn't look horrible, but
and I think he did say, Andy, that this was, I believe this was like his first tattoo. I believe one of his first tattoos on real skin, and I think like you were saying before, not bad for your first tattoo. A little big, a little bold, a whole lot going on. I mean, that was quite a bit to bite off. I bet had it just been that turtle or just been that flower or just been some of the other little details in this, you would have, been a little more focused and honed in. But there's a lot going on here. Definitely, and I'm sure you may have said this, Andy, you could, like he said in the write-up, he might have to go back in, sculpt some lines, rework some stuff a little bit. You probably will, but it's 100% workable. 100%, you can get this to where you want it over time, right? Definitely not like, oh God, this is far gone. Like Andy said, this is exactly what you would expect from a first tattoo. Looking at what you've done on fake skin, which is not bad. Yeah. No. Oh, okay. Contrast says his first really big one. And he's going to finish it in another session. Yeah, I think you're gonna be okay here, man. Let's see what else you sent us. Some more fake skin. Yeah. If you could get white highlights in fake skin, I think this would even pop it more, but they never stay.
But can you say, taking this piece, for example, this piece is on fake skin and you look at it, it's a different, I'm sorry about this contract, it's a different class to the one that is put, the bigger one that is put on the kid's back. But this happens, but it's to be expected. And this is how it goes. And now you've got the fundamentals in and you go on to real skin, you're on another learning curve. It's like learning all over again. But nice piece. Like I say, if we could have got a little bit of red and a bit of white in this, it'd have really pulled it off.
Yeah. I think the white just doesn't seem to go in very well sometimes on some of these fake skins. But here we go. Okay, so he tattooed it on fake skin first. Okay. Well, it's not too far of a miss from here. But again, if it's not perfect on fake skin, it's not going to equate to perfect on human skin. Not say this isn't perfect, but it's not perfect. You know what I mean?
What I can say on this one, obviously, it was more comfortable on fake skin in some areas than on real skin. E.g., the triangles. You look at the triangles that are coloured in black. They've come out a bit better. His line around the complete outside of it is a little bit better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So you can just tell. Plus, there again, if it's first big piece, you're going to throw nerves. You're going to throw nerves into the mix.
Yeah. Sorry, 1 second. Let me get another one on client. Client messaged me. Okay. Well, contrasted. Thank you, man. It was good to take a look at some of that stuff. Let's hit up. The next one is Todd. Let's see. Oh, man. Okay. We got some different stuff going on here. Hi, guys. We'll keep it short again. There is a reference image here for Pennywise. Pennywise is on pigskin, 3-round liner, closest yet to being completed. I think that I went too dark on the tones on his collar. Shark, pigskin, 3-round liner. I'm calling this done. Tried to add white, then decided not to. Okay. So here is the reference for the piece we're going to take a look at right here. Ooh. Well, if I recall, the piece he did on pigskin last week was pretty decent. He did explain some stuff about pigskin to me the other day.
Yeah, he did. But this one, I know it's Pennywise.
I got to send a quick message. Go ahead, Annie.
But I'll be honest with you. Not that it's bad, because it isn't. because you see the shape of the mouth, the shape of the eyes, the hair, the outline of the collar, the teeth, and everything. Where it's gone for me is it's too busy. There's either too much stipple shading in it, there's too much shading in it, or whatever. It's a nice piece. The proportions are right. The hairs, the outer flow of the hair, and like I say, the eyes, the lips, the mouth, the nose, and everything is right. I'm finding it really hard to find out what is actually wrong with this, but something just not right. Yeah, but I don't know whether it's too dark or whether the piece is got too much shading together.
I think right here, overall, considering the rest of the piece, this is okay and readable.
Yes.
I think here is where in these little cracks, they just went a little nuts. Like if you look here, they're thin, they're shade, they're light. You know, it's like they followed their stencil just without really paying attention to what they were doing, just put these all in dark and black, and then added like this bit of shading here. I think they went a little too dark with it. So you kind of almost feel like the head is shrunken in a little bit more than it probably truly is. And I think this is where we get the most of our busyness. Sure, this down here and the hair is a little whack, but for the most part, what's really messing me up is the top. So if I just kind of do this number, well, we're still kind of close. It looks better. But as we bring down the forehead, it's like, oh,
you see, I can get past, you see, me, I can get past the forehead, because with a little bit more work, the forehead and the hair and everything, I think it is the collar for me, the ruche on the collar. If that wasn't on and it was just the chin and the hair, I could just say, well, I could get past the forehead, just needs a little bit of shading, highlights, lowlights, this, that, and other. There's just something, but I just can't 100% quite put my finger on it.
Yeah.
On this.
Yeah. Let's see what. All right. So, the sharks. I like the thick lining around the shark. I think this was, and I'm not sure. It looks kind of like it may have been put in. No, that might be just gone over a couple times just to thicken some lines out. But I like the thicker line weight around the outside. The stippling is pretty smooth.
But what I am going to say, and I can't remember this kid's name now. What was his name? You remember, Dave?
I will tell you right now. It's Todd.
Todd. What I am saying is, yes, you're on pigskin. I do like this piece. I've got not much to critique on it. Nice outer line, and this, that, and other. What I am going to say to you is, and somebody might put me right in the comments, is, have we tried anything else other than stipple shading? Because a lot of your pieces seem to be stipple shaded. And I'm just wondering whether some of them be better off from some normal smooth shading, and that they may look, it's just something to think about. They may look better from being, shall we say, normal. It's shaded in a normal way using a mag rather than stipple shading, and not getting you sent into a point of becoming a one-trick pony and everything's got to be stipple shaded.
Yeah,
it has its applications, and sometimes it just don't work. But I still like the piece. I'm not detracting that I don't like the piece. I'm just saying that obviously we just seem to see a lot of stipple shading out of Todd. It may be just nice.
I think stipple shading, I've noticed it a lot in a lot of people's work in the beginning, and I wonder if it's just not like an easier, more comfortable way to shade in the beginning, to where, you kind of are like doing dotted lines, and you just kind of like more dots, more saturation.
Yeah, it's a slow way to build in, isn't it? He's in chat, is Todd. Fine. No, I totally get it, Todd. He's working on stipple shading, and then he's hoping to move on to normal, regular shading. Right. So he started with stipple shading. It must be his comfort zone. That's fine. That's fair enough.
Next week, man, it will be cool if you try, or not necessarily next week, whenever you want, man. But it'd be cool to see your intro to maybe another kind of shading as well. And, it's just fun for us at the same time, me and Andy, to see people try different things and send us, hey, I tried that. Go ahead.
Don't same piece twice, Dave. Don't same piece. Show us how you do it in stipple shading. Have a go. And keep them small, but have a go in, like I said, whip shading, normal shading, whatever, and that. Just try it when you see them side by side, and you'll be able to see yourself. Sometimes it's easier than when you send them in and we put them on screen side by side. You can actually see yourself as well, Todd.
Yeah, it's true.
And that I just don't want you to get into the comfort zone of only using stipple shading and becoming a one-trick pony, because it doesn't always work for every application.
But at the end of the day, though, man, I like your shark.
Yes, it is at the end of the day.
Just mainly the forehead, in my opinion. Some other stuff, but mainly I bet you that forehead would have fixed a lot of stuff. Overall, shark is pretty solid, man. And I think that's why we want to see, like, hey, man, do some other shading too, because it's looking good, man. It's looking good. So definitely good to see your progression, man. Keep at it, Todd. And I believe it was Todd. You sent me a message explaining a lot about pigskin that I didn't understand. And I'll have to send a screenshot maybe for next week so we can read what he said, because I think it might help some people. All right, please review. Been waiting for a while. Oh, sorry. Let's see. Hey, man, greetings from Bulgaria. I'm really new and lack practice. Okay. It looks like you're tattooing real skin, though. So most I know I learned from you. So I will really be glad if you check my work and tell me where I'm at and what I should work on. I've been tattooing people for a month now and got some work in. I'm sending it oldest to latest so I can see if progress in your opinion. Wonder which way is oldest to... Okay, well, I can't look at that.
I think that's video.
Okay. This is as far as I can zoom in, and I know it might be kind of hard to see, but
I'm just going to give you 2 minutes, Dave. I'm just going to
back
in 2 minutes.
Well, I hope that we're progressing as I go along. That's my goal here. That's what my hope is, because this tattoo is I don't know. I'm not digging it, to be quite honest. The lines are very like in and out. We got deep spots right next to shallow spots, next to some shaky spots with some blowouts. I wish I could go a little bit, further in to show more. While the line might appear from here to be relatively straight-ish, it definitely has some pickups and put downs that are very obvious, dark spots and light spots. So we're looking for consistency. And of course, depending on where you tattoo the body, is going to give you a harder time or not so hard of a time. But this place right here should be relatively decent place. And I feel like it would be in your best interest to not tattoo human skin for a little bit, maybe take it back. We're going to look at more work you've done. Maybe it improves and, I'll put my good foot in my mouth. But if I was just looking at this piece, I'd say, oh, no. Definitely don't be tattooing skin right now. Get a little bit more practice under your belt. We've showed people here on the channel who have been practicing fake skin, and we've watched them move to real skin, and we've said, okay, we see the difficulties you're having here, but man, what an improvement over those people who just skip the fake skin and go straight to real skin. Because sure, fake skin is not like real skin, but I'm telling you, you're going to learn a lot along the way. If you rush things, well, things can happen. Let's take a look. Again, this is okay. What is going on here? I have no idea what this says here. Maybe, I don't know. And it's very scratchy. Same with this 1914. It's just not really there, man. It's not really what we're looking for. There's no solid saturation of lines here. It looks very scratchy. These are things you could avoid before doing this, because now you gotta kind of fix this sort of thing, which you absolutely could with a thicker liner and yada yada. But why do that now? Wait till you got a little bit more time under your belt. And yes, those people are saying this is fixed. Well, it is, but you shouldn't want or have to go back and fix stuff to this degree, right? Okay, what do we got here? Let's see. This looks a little bit better, right? But we're still kind of left with the same sort of uneasy line work, right? Maybe if this were the first one, it's like, okay, yeah, it needs help, but you're hopefully going to progress. And it has gotten better, but you could have gotten a lot of this figured out on fake skin, right? The shading up in here, the shading throughout, you could definitely be working this stuff out on fake skin before you're here on human skin. The shading is kind of rudimentary, right? It's all very one directional. You can see it, but the lines are just pretty inconsistent. I will say down here in these little beads, at least the line work is better, and that's good, because this is right out there in the open again. So again, we're gonna it's not improving that much, and I think it shows here as well. The lines, they're in, they're out, they're deep, they're not. A little bit of stipple shading. I'm assuming we have went in the right direction because this is probably the best one of the bunch, and it's still quite lacking. Again, I think time on fake skin would have helped you out a lot. So I hope you understand where we're coming from. I think there is improvement through there, but I feel like you could have gotten a lot of this improvement figured out prior to where tattooing this human skin. So I would suggest if you want to keep tattooing people, people, fine, but maybe in your off time, spend a little time working on that fake skin. Work it, just figure it out. You're gonna have off days. You're gonna have pieces that aren't as good as you want them to be. That's understandable. But I'm assuming these are either the only pieces you've done or your finest pieces. All right, so we got Simon up next. Hey, Apprentice here.
Come on, guys.
What's that?
No, I'm just going to jump on there, David. I'm just going to say, come on, guys. This is we got 61 watching, only 31 likes. That's smash a like on video. It's that's mine and Dave's critique. Is that the more likes we get? We know that you're liking what we're doing, and we'll come back next week.
That's it. If we don't get 100 likes, we're taking a weekend off. I could be watching football right now, American football. I know they don't. It's not, whatever. Anyhow, it's on right now. Could be watching that, but I'm here with you guys. Or maybe it doesn't come on until I haven't checked. But anyhow, we're here. Hey, Apprentice here. I've been sending in a few pieces. This is my recent work. Let's see what we got. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'd say the line work looks pretty good. Simple work here, but dark in the right spots.
Bold is beautiful.
Yep. I think to the right person, if this is exactly what they want, it looks good. All right.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah.
This is nicely executed.
Yeah.
Nice use of colour.
Lines look good too.
Yeah, I mean, and like I say, it's got bits of shading in where it needs bits of shading, black's in where it's in black. Your flowers, I love your flowers. Bit of dark green, bit of medium green, bit of red. You've got some orange, you've got some yellow in it.
Very bold.
Just bold will hold. Love this piece.
Mm-hmm.
Your writing's nice big thick chunky lines. How it's done, it's nice, cool piece. And nice it's bulletproof. It'll stand the test of time with this piece. Just a quick one before we jump. Is it Madalena B? Can I still send my work in? I'm also a beginner. Will some feedback? Of course you can.
Here, I'm gonna throw the email address at the bottom of the screen there. We have 1 hour left, guys. I don't know how many emails we currently have, but we go in order. So if we don't get to yours, I do apologize. I will take this moment right now to tell you guys about the tattoo challenge. Let me get that pulled up right here. This is this week's tattoo challenge. In the link in the description below will be a link to a Google Drive. It's the first link you're going to go to. In that Google Drive, there'll be a series of pieces that look like this. We have a stitch, a sword, a snake. Now, this week, these are the pieces. Now, we were told that the last week was a little bit too hard, so we went with give you guys an option. 3 different pieces. You can do all 3. You can do 1. Doesn't matter. Tattoo it on fake skin, whatever you want to do, and send it to the email address that will be in the description below. It's currently not. I forgot to put it in there, but it's tattoomesomething@gmail.com. Tattoomesomething@gmail.com. That will guarantee that we take a look at your work. It will guarantee that we review your work next week if you do one of these pieces and send them in. You can do any of the pieces that are in that Google Drive down there. It's just that this week, this is the new piece. So yeah. And if you just want us to look at any of your work, send it during the live stream, only during the live stream. First come, first serve. Email scrolling at the bottom of the screen. We'll take a look at your guys' work, okay? I hope that makes sense. What did I do with... okay. Hold up a moment. Oh, there it is. Bam. Okay. Got lost there. All right. So, moving on. Oh, geez. I zoomed in too far. Hey, I think this is kind of cool. I like how he kind of left some lines out and just kind of did a little bit of like a dot work there, and it gives it that little bit of like blurred haze look and brings the little guy in the front a little bit forward more. Not bad. Not bad. I like it. Oh. Well, I just want to look at this from here. And I really do think this is cool, especially from here as well. It's got
Yes.
that sketchy kind of look. It's not huge, even though we're going to zoom in. It's going to look big. I mean, it's a decent size from peak to bottom. But again, if you look at her arm, it's not humongous. So again, we got a lot of small things happening here, and I think it was executed pretty good, Andy. I don't
Yeah,
mind
it's
it.
looking, the effect it has gone for, pulled it off.
Yeah.
Because it's more of a sketched effect.
Mm-hmm.
And it pulls it off. And I seriously hope that's a bloke, Dave.
What's that?
Zoom back out.
Yeah.
A bit further. Yeah, I hope. Is that a woman or is it a bloke got hairy arms? For me, might be a woman.
I don't know. There's I don't know. I think
it's a woman.
Yeah.
But no, let's get back to tattoo. No, it's a nice tattoo. Is this the style that it's done in? And that it's nice. It works. It's readable.
It looks intentionally sketchy, not like
yes.
I'm going to call it's sketchy style. No, it's intentional. It looks good.
It's
Simon,
nice pieces. That Simon, that was a nice piece for that one.
Very cool, man.
Grim Reaper was definite fave for me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see here. We got Be Bad. Let's see. Hey, Dave, here's a Grim Reaper. We just looked at one, so it's a tough one to follow. I've done on my baby mama. I got a burp. I'm trying to read. I sent this in last time, but with just the lines, and I finished it with shading. All right. Let's see what you got. Okay, so we sent it in with just the lines. Now he's done with shading. Yeah, that's not bad.
No, I mean,
especially when it heals and a little bit of that redding goes away.
Yeah,
I think there's enough dark, enough open skin. Not bad. We're not looking for freaking Mona Lisas here, guys. This looks pretty decent little tattoo.
Yeah, it's like you say, it's a little tattoo. It's a decent little tattoo. I mean, what I would say on this one is just, and it's just something to play about with while you're doing these. Is try smooth some of your shades out into your other ones. In areas. Just some of the areas are a bit cell shaded. A bit. So just try to smooth them out a little bit. Your transitions between one to another. But it's not a bad little tattoo. It's not a bad little tattoo at all.
Yeah, I think it's pretty decent piece there. Good job. I don't know how long you've been at it, but you know what? I'm assuming not forever. Pretty decent. I would love to see more, man. Oh, we got a tattoo challenge that's made its way here, guys. If you do tattoo challenge pieces, there's a chance we could have missed Phil here, and he did a tattoo challenge piece. So make sure you send it to the tattoo challenge pieces to tattoomesomething@gmail.com. Very similar to artmesomething@gmail.com. Instead, it's tattoomesomething. I will put that email in the description below. For some reason tonight, I have forgotten. I do apologize. So after the stream, I'll make sure that's down there. Hey, guys, after tattooing only a few short weeks, I thought I'd try my hand at your challenge. Thank you for the feedback. I look forward to the next challenge. Sweet, man.
Ooh.
After just a few short weeks, you turd.
Yeah, it's looking quite sharp in places, is this?
Yeah, in places for sure. For sure. He's definitely tried it. He's definitely put a valiant effort into it.
Yes.
And it does show. It's not perfect, but only a few weeks. Not bad. I can tell we've gone over lines, smoothed them out, darkened them up, but you're going to have to do that sometimes. And
what I am going to say, for a few weeks in, some of his little areas like whip shading, stipple shading, aren't bad at all.
Yeah.
Has it got its faults? Yes. But where I am, it's got a lot of the curviness in the right place and it's not too choppy.
Right.
We see a lot where it's like, it's supposed to be smooth and curved, and it's as if it's like a series of little straight lines.
Right. Pickups, put downs.
And it seems to have got them in, okay. The leaves. I mean, I always look at the leaves because people seem to get, shall we say, one side of the leaf, the other side of the leaf either seems to be really narrow or it don't go to a point or there's something. But for one, most of the leaves are okay.
For sure. And even when we were looking at these, we got a decent little gap here, and it's for the
Yeah.
most part that gap maintains. It's been easy to lose that spacing. Is it perfect? No, but again, guys, I know we have different people watching who are like, but those circles aren't perfect. Right, they're not. But we try to evaluate where somebody's at, how they're doing, all things considered. Hey, this is pretty solid, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Right, can
For
be
a
done
few
better, of
for a
course.
few weeks in.
Yeah, a few weeks in. I want to encourage this guy or this
Yeah.
girl. It's Phil. So this guy, I think you're doing all right, man. For just a few weeks, non-fake skin, keep moving at it. Love to see more of the
Proportions.
stuff. Hopefully, you do the next week's tattoo challenge and
Yeah.
whatnot. It's fun to watch these different people evolve. And again, it's not fake skin. We're not hurting anybody.
No,
Good job.
and it's like you say, he got his proportions right and his curves right and everything, and it didn't look bad at all for a few weeks in. Hats
Yeah,
off to him.
absolutely. All right, next up, some practice skin line work and a recent tattoo I did. Okay.
Okay.
I think the line work looks good. I don't mind the shading at all. It seems like there is some black in there, which is good. And it peppers out. We got this, we get shape. Shape is here, but also has that like traditional feel. Overall,
He's got
looking pretty
smoothness to his lines. He's got nice curves. His arrow shaft, it's nice and parallel to his lines down through his arrow shaft.
good. Yeah.
And that nice piece may benefit from just a little bit more punched in black and then peppered out.
But, right. Like really dark right there in the
pit.
Right
just little bits. Just little bits.
Yeah. Just slightly not saturated. But
yeah. But
overall.
Line works good on it.
Yeah.
Nice piece.
Yeah. Not bad. Oh, this is quite nice as well. I do like that we have a little bit of like shading in this as well. And it's not overly done. It's nice and smooth.
No, I mean,
I don't know. Yeah.
One line I'm going to just take a look at that front line. It's got that full front rigging line that goes all the way from top of sails down to front of the ship. That's a nice, crisp, straight line.
Yeah, it is. It is where you needed it. It was there.
It's there. He's got
I feel like some of these down here could be a little bit smoother, but
yeah,
it's still looking decent. Just
it is
maybe a little bit more depth in there, a little bit more saturation of the But yeah,
there is some good lines. Looks like he's playing around with a bold liner.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty consistent. That's one of those things when you're dealing with working with a bold round liner or a thick round shader, is trying to figure out how to keep those consistent line weights, because different angles with liners or round shaders are going to give different effects. So you got to learn to keep a nice consistent hand movements in different ways. And these look pretty consistent. Practicing a little shading there as well. Yeah,
not bad little pumpkin.
Not bad. We got some color saturation here, which I don't think we've seen in the other pieces. So that might be something new you're trying. I would imagine that if there was light shining through it, it would be bright like this on the inside. But I imagine it'd probably be a little bit darker on the inside. But again, it's just a practice piece. I do like this sort of practice you had with this light sort of shading around the outside and whatnot.
Could have even put a yellow. You could have even put a yellow and a bit of orange on inside of it, just to mimic that it's got a light on, inside. That's a
good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Oh, okay. He did say it was one on human skin. Now we looked at those pieces and we saw really nice, clean, crisp lines. And I just want to say a couple things about the lines. Not that they're bad or anything. I just want, again, we get a lot of people who are like, fake skin stupid. I don't want to waste my time. It's nothing like real skin. But let's take a moment here, right? Like the lines and a lot of that piece we looked at were beautiful. And then you go to human skin, it's going to, drop down a notch or two because it's a different material, right? It's human skin. But even with that drop down, this is definitely readable. Could the lines be cleaner? Yes. They could be a little bit more crisper. Yes. But they are pretty stinking decent for one of his first tattoo on human skin. Had he not had any of that practice with any of the fake skin, with the machine angles, with all of that, we'd be looking at a totally different tattoo. And I also think the color saturated pretty well. I don't know a whole lot about traditional work, and maybe he was trying
like I said, his swallow is pretty much, shall we say, color correct. and that like use colours. Your flour is not too bad. Your leaves are way off if you're running on a traditional. There may have either been just one colour, or there may have been 50-50 down centre with a dark at the top, lighter green at the bottom, and they've all mimicked all the way through. But I do like the saturation in the swallow that you've got. That's nice colour work. But this person's now also going to understand that tattooing real skin is nothing like tattooing fake skin.
Right.
And tattooing fake skin all the time on a hard surface,
Flat
albeit
surface.
it's good. It's a flat, hard surface, albeit it's good practice, doesn't always set you up for skin. Put something soft under it. Like I say, get 1/2 inch of foam, get 1 inch of foam, get a cushion, get some couch roll, lean it over the top, because you're having to pull straight lines over curved surfaces. It's a totally different ball game.
It is. It is. And you can't flip. I mean, you can to some degree, but you can't exactly flip somebody over too. I remember.
No.
Sounds bad saying that, but tattooing real fake skin, you know, you could easily take that fake skin and go, oh, I want to get right here so I can run this line nicely. And I want to move here so I can run this line nicely. On human skin, depending on where you're at, you have to do the best you can for the position you can, you know, realistically get the client in and run those lines. And it's not perfect every single time. So, but overall, I think for one of your first, I'm assuming pieces, it's not bad. Yeah. It's not bad. And I would credit some of that to the time you spent on, fake skin, which is different from human skin. But you can definitely learn a lot from it. And I think you should definitely spend the time and practice with it. So again, nice job. Next up is William Lawson. Hey guys, I've been tattooing as an apprentice since June. Here's my latest piece. I'm working on shading and line work and was curious of your opinion. I used a Sovereign 8-round liner and a 9 curved mag with gray wash for shading. So we're looking at a 8-round liner and a 9 curved mag. They've been an apprentice since June. Okay, my slow brain's got to go June, July, August, September, October. We're looking at 4 to 5 months. Let's see what we got. Okay. All right. Well, my opinion here is I do like, I think if you just look at this piece right here, yeah, not bad. This bubble pops out real big. This up here pops out real big. But I think we're having problems really saturating, really putting the needles in the skin, running that line, getting a saturated, smooth line, because it's looking like you're having to go over some of this a couple times, which is thickening it up, which is giving you little bubbles in some spots because you're not meeting a line where you stop the line. But when it comes, just real quick, when it comes to your shading, for being just a simple shade, it's not bad. We get darks in some spots, we get a little light, a lot of tattoo breathing room. But I think your lining is going to be something you want to focus on a little bit more. Now, I definitely have my own deficiencies in lining, especially depending on the locations and whatnot. But at the same time, that would be my only critique on this piece.
Yeah, there's more faults in the line work than the shading work on this one,
right?
Especially over the top of eyes. You can see where they've had a few goes at trying to get it in, and it's thickened line up and everything. That's something that you're going to need to work on this one. If you
definitely, yeah, in 5 months, you know, there's going to be imperfections, but you don't want to accept those. You want to try to improve it the best you can. And sometimes you can look at a piece and go, I don't know where I went wrong there. Here we have another tattoo challenge in here. Remember, guys, send your work, your tattoo challenge pieces to tattoomesomething@gmail.com. We review them first and foremost. Andy, it looks like we have a bit of inspiration here. We got some. Looks like that one piece a little bit, not quite. All right.
Yes.
Okay, there are. All right, Andy, I'm going to leave you. Is this a good spot real quick? I'm sorry, I got the bladder of a small child.
You know, I was saying today, she's not a drink. But yeah, I mean, on the whole, when you drag back from this thing, it doesn't look so bad. But then when we get in and we get closer to it, we can start seeing, shall we say, where you're struggling. Not so much say see your failings, but we can start see where you're struggling. And we'll start straight away with the line work. We've got some good lines. Also looks like you're using quite a fine liner, where you could have actually got away on this with 9, 11, could have got away with a 9-round shader on outside of it. But what I am going to say before I get too deep into it is you trying taking some inspiration and you trying with your leaves, with your colour from the outside and leaving them open spaces to try and get lights and darks. The skin doesn't, and I'm not really up on false skin. The false skin doesn't really look, it looks more like it may be a thicker, but a cheaper brand that's thicker. And it's showing on some of the colour packing. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot for you to work on still on this one. Your line work, albeit that we have got some smooth lines. Some of them are in there. You have missed some of them. I can see that you've gone over them a few times. The smoothness of your lines, you're going to have to try work on. But then again, as a whole, when you stand away from it, it's still legible. We can still read it. It just gets a little bit muddy and lost in places. But you've also still got to work on them fundamentals. And like I said, in the middle of the flowers where you put the yellow and you've put the highlighting of the black, this was, yes, everybody's got their own take on it, but this was bulletproof for using hard, bold lines on this, not a problem. And you've just maybe missed that mark in a few places. It's lost a little bit of shape on its head. But like I say, I think I'm more bothered that some of the line work's not in properly on this one. I mean, I don't know what you're thinking, Dave. I mean, it looks a little bit muddied. It's got some good stuff. It's got some good stuff where he's tried to get lights and darks on leaves.
Yeah, and it comes, you know what? Like you said, you zoom out. It's like, all right, okay. I feel like we got some lights in good spots, meaning like we have a bit of like open skin over here and whatnot. From a distance, it's readable, but it is muddy. So the color in here is kind of muddied together. No real solid saturation. The green in the leaves is very one-noted. We have a green with black. Works a little bit, but there's not really a whole lot of dynamic, and colors going on there. The lines are, they're not bad. I don't know where you're coming from exactly. So I don't know how long you've been tattooing, but I don't know. They're just really not the greatest in all places. But in some of them, you're like, wow, okay, you did a lot of very straight, consistent lines. And maybe it's just issues with depth.
Yeah, I think he'd have benefited from a fatter liner.
Absolutely. I mean, keep that small liner for these leaves and stuff, for inside of here even. But something like this size, see how thick this is right here, even though it's not quite saturated, it looks like maybe there's stuff. But if this were a full thick line, that would have been pretty nice around, especially around the snake and whatnot and throughout. Yep. So maybe you're trying to do a whole lot of different things in this one piece. It might have been better to pull back a little bit. Maybe try your black and gray a little bit and then see how color goes over top or whatnot. But, it's not a fail or anything. You're on practice skin. That's the whole thing. You're practicing. The colors need a little bit more saturation. I feel like you definitely could have thrown some yellows in those leaves. I'm sure Andy spoke a bit about it. I don't want to, you know what I mean? Be over here repeating the same stuff. Just want to make sure people are able to walk away going like understanding that maybe what they could have done differently or whatnot. So we got Jose. He says, did a bit more work this last week after you guys' critique. I'm trying to focus on micro portraits and learning stroke and ink gray washing. I'm scared of tattooing or for some reason. I need encouragement. Okay. Using pounded flesh, a mass flip pen, 2.4 to 4 stroke and some quadrant 7 mag and liners. Okay. Is that what you have? Is that what you got in the mail? The mass flip?
Nope. I've got the, where are you? Like I say, in here somewhere, which I've, like I said to you, I've never had it out. It's never, where are you? It's there. It's the Fold Pro, Dave.
Oh, the Fold. It's not the flip. That's the Fold.
Yeah. Oh, 1 minute. You're going to break me duck here, aren't you? Check it out.
Now, does that have the adjustable stroke, correct?
Yep. And if I put it in my hand,
battery operate, that's beautiful.
If I put it in my hand, it's like that.
Ugh.
And also, supposedly, that is, and if I put it inside of my finger,
I love it.
That is the size of the battery. Put it back on.
And what is it adjustable to, Andy? Like stroke-wise on that one?
That's running.
Is it running?
Can you see it? 7.9 volts. Can you hear it?
I'm like trying to listen through my microphone like that's going to work.
And it goes from 2.4 to 4.2.
Ooh, 4.2. Nice. I like 4.2.
And
packing and
for like you, Dave, if you had a load of them, RCA batteries.
Yeah.
You get to,
that's smart move. Adapter. I like when they do that. Companies have been doing that lately, more and more. So
you can either RCA it,
or you
could put, clip cord, or you could put an RCA battery on. The only downside is it comes with one battery, because trying to get one with two batteries at the minute, for whatever reason, is terrible. But I am in the process of chatting with Dragonhawk and trying to get
another battery.
More. Or at least I may have to buy a few straight from them. But that's what I'm in the process of trying to get some extra batteries for it. So I'm
really looking forward to how you like this machine. Aside from the Bishop one shader, the other ones, in my opinion, the Packer, I could use any machine with a 4.2 millimeter stroke. And in my opinion, I like Bishop, but I feel like I just really like the shader from them. So I'm scared to move off of it. So I'm curious to see how you like it, because I am interested in trying other machines as well.
Yeah.
You ever get comfortable with something, you're scared to leave it? It's been a while.
I'm there. Do you know something? I'll be honest with you, Dave. You see that? That I didn't. I know I waited a long time, but I haven't paid full price for it. I haven't paid full price. I got $55 off it.
Oh, heck yeah.
So that'll only cost me. Oh God, let me work this out. That cost me $145.
Jeez.
That's all. In fact, actually got me more off it. That's all that's cost me. It's $145.
Man, I know that there's batteries out there. Just batteries alone are $100. Some of them.
And that's for simple
mid-grade.
And that's for simple reason is my supplier that I use. And I use it for machines. I use it for needles and everything, which I've spoke to you about. Every time you buy off them, they have a rewards system, and you get points, and you can cash them. And you can cash them in, and so many points equals like $1 off. So I had that many that I just. In fact, it might have even been about $80 or $90. So that I got off it. So I just cashed them in for $1, and you can spend it on whatever you want.
Well, heck yeah, man. So for $150, $160, you got this machine. Now, normally it might cost you $200, $220 or something. I'm guessing maybe American
something like that.
Which is still, if it works out and it has adjustability, and it sounds like it's hard to beat. So I'll be interested. We've been waiting. How long? Well, I say we, like I've been over here waiting too, but I've known about you ordering this machine. I'm like, yeah, that looks really cool.
5 or 6 weeks, isn't it?
It feels like longer, but you know how that goes.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, back to stuff we were here for.
Okay. So, let's get off on a tangent. We'll be gone all day.
Yeah.
Using Pound of Flesh, a mass flip pen, 2.4 to 4 stroke, quadrant 7 mag. We'll start here. Okay. Well, these guys are legible, man.
Yes.
Like, I know who these people are. Minimal shading, bold line around the outside. I know who he is. I like that. Some people don't. Some people want you to say like realistic or nothing or whatever, but I kind of like it. I like it. Dark in the eyes, got the dark in the mouth, the hair. little bit. Hey, he's got some white highlights going on in here.
Yeah, he's managed to get him in
Alright.
that skin.
Yeah, let's take a look. Yeah, he looks, you know, I mean, just a little bit younger, smooth face, you know. We took out some of his imperfections, but overall, I know exactly who this is. And not
But
too bad.
they're quite nice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh,
I
absolutely.
mean, I've seen some portraits done horrendously, and that, but they're nice. They're legible. Shall we say,
Yeah.
minimalistic, but in comparison to some portraits, minimalistic, but they work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I agree. I agree. Thank you, Casey, as well. Somebody new in the chat. I figured we'd draw attention there. They said, aha. I'm a tattoo artist in Wisconsin. I love to watch his video and critiques. Hope everyone's having a good night. Thank you. Appreciate that. Just saw somebody different leaving us a kind remark. Thought we would present that. And yeah, I actually saw this from a distance from like before I clicked on it. I thought I wasn't going to like it. It's not bad. I think it needs this. Personally, I think it just needs a little refinement around the nose, maybe.
That's the
And
thing.
I think that would help it a little bit more.
Is that Lee Van Cleef?
Say again?
Is that Lee Van Cleef, that one?
You got me, Andy. I'm not going to pretend.
I don't know.
There's sometimes where I'm like, I know this guy. Can't tell you his name, but I know this guy or this person or whatever. You know what I mean? Beat me up in the comments, whatever. If you guys know who this is, let us know.
I'm sure it's Lee Van Cleef.
Oh, now Andy's sure it's Lee.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure. Let somebody come and blow me out of water now.
Right. How dare you? How dare you? Nice job, though. And then we have the lion here. Not too shabby. I feel like the fur, it's a little bit haphazardish, but I'm not a huge fan. I have plenty of people ask me to do more animal tattoos, and I do them and whatnot, and I don't mind it. It's not my love, but I know, and it's not like it's so terribly hard, but to make it look really good and give it a lot of texture,
it's hard. It's hard to make it give it so much depth and texture. And I see some people do it, and it's amazing. It's like, it's like, and it's just time and patience thing, I think, with it.
I think Aaron's correct. He said the eyes are wicked. I particularly really like this one. I like where the highlight is. We got a little bit of black, smooth, shaded out. There's a lot of nice things here. Whiskers are a pain in the butt. They just are, because you have to leave them open. You have to work around them and do a bunch of other stuff. So, I mean, could this use some more work? Absolutely. Especially like out over here. I think it's just a little bit splotchy. Maybe you're trying to take things out of focus, but to do that successfully, very successfully, is not an easy task. Overall, I think your work is looking good, man. Overall, I think as we zoom across this stuff, really like these, actually. These are probably my favorite of the bunch you sent in. Just kind of cool figures. I'd almost like to have a piece like this tattooed. It's just kind of fun. So, yeah, nice job, man. All right, Archulator says, another few for collection. There's a bit improvement, but still not happy. I get that. I'm never happy. I just post stuff because I should, not because I want to. I think it all very critiquey of my own stuff. Please be mean. I don't want... I won't learn otherwise. Yes, but also you're too mean, and I don't want to tear you down per se.
Yeah, we're gonna tell you an absolutely crap and pack your tools up and do one. No, we're not.
Yeah, you are the weakest link. Goodbye. Well, this is tricky. I think this is done on the brand Real Skin because it tends to. While it is one of my favorite fake skins to use, it kind of hazes. I don't know. You get like this little hazy bits when you're using small needles on it. You know what I mean, Andy? Like that's what you get, like this little bit of like blurriness. And I believe these lines in some places might just be a tad bit too shallow. You know, maybe it just needs a little bit more crispness, in my opinion.
You see, I don't know because it's going for the effect that. I actually like this. See, them flowers are what your class has done in, like, shall we say, like semi-realism, and I like the effect that it's got on them, and I like the effects. I've seen this effect done. It's like a micro tattooing. They'll be using something like a 3 tight or even a 1 round liner on this, and I dig these sort of tattoos. I love them, and I love doing them.
Sure.
And for the style that it's done in, and when you pull away from it a little bit more,
Yeah.
for the style that it's done in and the effect that it's got, for me personally, for this style of tattoo, I think you've pretty much nailed it. I do like it. I do like it. The black and grey with a hint of colour. I love how you've just done the hints on the stems and the flowers. But again, that's me. That's
Yeah,
me.
absolutely. Absolutely. And the other thing is guys, we're zoomed in pretty far. And the hard part is I believe somebody gave us perspective the other week and put like a pen next to it. So we totally understood how small something is. So I'm not sure how small this is. And but I guess the only thing I would say is maybe just a little bit more crispness in some of the lines. But overall, like Andy said, like how we just give a little hint of color here and kind of fade off, and the lines are just kind of just there enough. Maybe that's what you're going for. I don't know. This particular brand of fake skin mixed with a little bit of stencil hiding behind it can make it difficult to tell exactly what's happening. But the good news is you sent other pieces. And I know, oh, see, that's it. See, look at, they put the quarter. See, that helps because I guarantee this is small and we're just not getting the real perspective on how small it is, making it easy to say, blah, blah, blah. I like this piece, man. From here, piece. I really like it. I like that there's black in this, which is, there's enough and it's scattered around. It gives it the weight that it needs. It like bleeds out. The open skin fades out into, but we know that this is the side of a heart. And the little bit of shading mixed with these really fine, delicate lines. I really like this piece. I really like this piece.
Such a nice piece. And before we even get into the shading and the line work, you've got it within the shape of a heart, which is the shape of a heart. It's not off. It's not some weird shape that looks like a heart. I mean, I'll be honest. Are you later? I mean, are you using? You've got to be using. It's like, is it PMU needles, SMP needles, or whatever for these? Your delicateness in your greys, your blacks, your line works, and your micro tattoo. And it's like, it's spot on as this. You've got, nailed it.
I really like these leaves though. Yeah. In the detail and the lines, like I like it. There's a lot of paid attention to a lot of little details.
Yeah, so we've got done with a 10-1 round liner.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go. And the stability in that, to get those in and delicate. I don't know. You probably still on fake skin. If you get the chance and when you get to the point where you're ready to go to real skin, I don't know how you feel about it, but if I were you do small tattoos, I would find a little spot on your leg or something and practice one of these on real skin. When the time comes, watch it heal, see how it heals. Okay. That way you can learn the healing process of these pieces too, because not all the time, but sometimes we get used to tattooing fake skin and the fake skin will take ink even when it's a bit shallow at times. So when you get to that point, don't rush. You're doing fine. Little piece on your leg, watch it heal, learn as much as you can from that, and then move forward. They said that's the plan. I don't know if they were talking to me or whoever, but
yeah, and I guess out you later's in UK.
Oh,
and that's as they've got a £1 coin next to £1 coin next to it.
Now, I would say after looking at this piece, the only thing, and I think it's not going to take you very long, telling you how much control you're obtaining over a very small single needle, is to maybe try like a 5-round liner. Looking at your work, maybe something as simple as a 5-round liner will give you a little bit thicker of a line, like you're trying to do around some of these leaves here or petals. And excuse me, I got burp. Okay, thank you. And getting comfortable running a little bit of a thicker line, laying it all the way in and running that, I think will help you out in the long run. Is maybe just start to work your way to getting comfortable tattooing with a little bit thicker liners, just so it's a tool in your bag and it'll help you along the way. I don't know if that
but
helps at all. But
still a stonking piece.
yeah,
It's still a
absolutely.
real, the balance
Very
between the
dynamic.
darks.
Yes.
Yeah,
For being
it's
simple,
such a nice
it's
piece. Yeah,
dynamic.
it's such a nice piece that, like you say, if anybody was to have this on their own skin, real skin, there's no way they could complain about it.
No, they would absolutely love it. I know plenty, and I say women because this is definitely what I would do. Would be very happy with this piece.
Yeah.
Done like this, yes. Oh, here we go. And look at this. Look at the size on that, Andy. You see?
Yep,
I
that's a
knew I was going
cartridge.
to eat my
Yeah.
words. I knew it.
Yeah,
Boys,
I mean,
they've done this to us before, man, and they were small. Oh, an 8.3 round liner. Yeah, it's a very small
8.3.
needle.
Yeah.
But a good one. Good choice. Look, beautiful. Love it. Oh, this was last week, I do believe.
Yeah, because if you remember, I think last week, I think we've had from last week and the week before, because they sent one in, and I might be wrong, they'll put me right in the comments, that I think initially was you working relatively dark, and we said to you try work out a little bit lighter. Then you've sent that one in, which was a lot lighter. Now you've gone on to these, which is like, whoa, yeah, you've just nailed it, basically. And
you know what? I really do love this. You seem very comfortable in this format. And, follow this through, spend some time and keep indulging yourself in what you like to do. And I wouldn't worry about trying to venture out just yet. Like, work on what you like, It's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I think that's it. But wow, thank you. That was fun. Fun.
Lovely tattoos. Lovely tattoos.
Yeah. Awesome stuff. Guys, about 15, 20 minutes. I know. Time flies here.
Smash a like.
Definitely smash a like, guys. Come on. This has been an enjoyable stream. I don't care how many people or who's here. I will say, though, it's 54 likes and 54 people watching right now. So those are pretty good numbers. I can't really even be upset at you guys. You guys are really killing it. But if you haven't liked it and you're watching, give the stream a like. All right, moving on. Okay, so we got a lot of pieces here. We're going to move a little bit quicker through this piece so we can move on to some other stuff as well. Florin, how you doing, man? I think we've definitely looked at your work in the past. It's John here. What up, man? A little bit late to the party today. Hope my email will get picked. Well, it did. We got to it. I've been tattooing for, I believe, 7 months now on human skin. Here are some of the latest works. Cheers to both of you. I'm going to start down here. Oh, that's okay. Let's take a look here. Let's get up here. Yeah, you know what?
I've seen this on Insta.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah, I've got John on my Insta.
Oh, nice. Is this Dubai, John?
Or no, that's John? Underground. That's underground. Okay. This is a different John.
I thought so. I was like, this. I mean, this is decent work too. But I was thinking, wait, John, he's like a different style of black and gray. It's weird how you can kind of get used to seeing people's work and what's what. But yeah, this is looking nice. I like it. I feel like all right. So here's what I will say. See, this is black right here, solid black, right? It's a good example. If they'd have taken a little bit of that and tucked it in some of these spots and really pushed some of those deep spots backwards, I think it would have helped just a little bit, give it a little bit more depth, because right now we have the background of gray kind of blending in with this gun right here. The AK is getting just slightly lost in there. So a little bit of either darker in the background, darker in the rifle to try to get a little separation there. That'd be about all I'd really have to say. So overall, it's a decent piece.
Yeah. Nice piece. Like you said, just a couple of little tweaks. But that's it. Well, oh, wow. What I will say to you, John, on this one's got away from you a little bit. Because if you look at the script on your piece of paper against what you've put on the person, unfortunately, I'm going to have to say to you, it doesn't look like it, in my opinion.
Yeah, you know what, Andy? I didn't even notice that. I was just looking at the paw and I thought, oh, that looks pretty crisp. I mean, it's dark, it's black, it's solid. I was going to say it looks really good. But then you should, if you're going off of that as your stencil, yeah, I'd say this got a little bit thicker in all places. So, yeah, it's tricky. Oh, here's some snakes. Okay. Feel like this is leaving us a little lackluster. I mean, we're kind of like hoping for a bit more. The shading in this flower is kind of flat, and
I
it
still
doesn't really
think
blend to it jives too much with the snake. And then right here is bugging the heck out of me. I don't know why, but if you just look at that spot, it just kind of doesn't quite. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it exactly. Looks like
it
it's going in
flares out.
multiple directions right there.
It flares out. The snake's body flares out there
Yeah,
instead of keeping the shape as it comes round. It
that's
like
it.
goes that way, and then that sort of like way as it goes round. But what I will do is, I mean, for a lot of people, flowers, roses, they might look like such a simple thing, but to get them to look right and look bang on, they're such a hard thing to do.
Correct. You're not wrong, Andy.
I still struggle with them myself. Yeah, I
They're
struggle.
easy in theory, but to
Yeah,
make them come out and look like a damn, that's a nice flower is not easy. That's why there are some people who have built careers around very nice roses, very nice
yeah,
flowers, to where people come to them to get a rose from them, to get a flower from them. Um, and I guess that can be said about a lot of different, styles in tattooing. But we think of flowers and we see so many roses on here, Andy, of people tattooing roses, practicing roses, because it's this really idealistically easy thing. And it's not even in traditional format. We've seen people try to do it, and it can fall short very easily. So yeah, all right. Let's see what we got here. Oh, a little thumb hand tattoo here. It's overall and just my thoughts, just giving it a quick look, it's not too bad.
no,
How long will it hold? I don't know. It just depends on the application. Looks relatively solid, but again, it's not out of the ordinary for that little stem piece going up into that middle knuckle there to fade out a bit.
yeah, and just got. Yeah. I mean, I like the flow on it. It goes up over the knuckle, round onto the wrist, and it's just got that little bit that pops off the end of it. I'm not right sure what it is, but it just pops off. I mean, it goes into a set of, must go up into a set of beads, whether it's like.
Yeah, I think these are little butterflies.
Yeah, I think like little butterflies or whatever. But yeah, for what it is, it's a nice, clean little piece. I mean, you look at the outlines.
Yeah.
And I mean, going over some areas on your hand and some, not just even on your hand, on some areas of skin, the actual follicles and the grain of your skin is quite coarse.
Right,
and that does affect how you're pulling lines.
It tends to bounce that needle around a little bit sometimes, and I think he's mitigated that pretty well here.
Yeah, and sometimes you can stretch and stretch and stretch, and you in these areas, and you'll pull the lines, and they'll look great, and then you let go of them, and you look at it, and you think you said, "Wow, that one, that didn't come out. Once I've let go at stretch, it don't look same." But I think you've done all right here, John, with this. You've done all right, yeah.
And trying to hammer that in without getting blowouts, Ooh, as I say that. Okay, funny enough, though, this is the power of a highlight. Look at this piece. That white dot on the back of that body sells this curled body, this highlighted body. So don't underestimate the power of a highlight. And a well-placed highlight. Look at that. Well-placed highlight. Bam, right there. Of course, the rest of it works well.
Nice little
shadows under here.
Little drop shadow. This is a cool little piece. This is a cool piece.
Yes. Oh, look at Smoke falling in love over here. Look at him. Sexy ladybug. Gosh. God, dirty man, you.
Like I said, nice. Nice. And not over complex, but way it's executed, way it's finished, just with the use of colours and highlights.
Yeah.
It's cock on. Lovely little ladybird.
Yeah, I like it. It's quite cute.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got here? You know what?
Little mouse.
Hey, not bad. We got a little bit of it's causing a little bit of like a halo blowout, but it's minimal. And considering overall, just lines. I love it when people are like, it's an easy tattoo, a simple tattoo. Well, every line has to be the best you can do. And could it be better? Sure. But I think you did a pretty decent job considering this isn't very large. It's only lines. I'd say right here, 2 iffy spots. We get a little bit of a wobble around here, but it's not enough to make you go, oh, that's whatever. You know what I mean?
Thing is, it's when it heals as well, it's probably not going to look as bad as, I won't say bad, that's a wrong word. That is a totally wrong word, is bad. It's not, you're not going to sort of like see these, because for some weird, and we've said it before, sometimes with the healing,
helps the tattoo a lot.
Yeah, when they're healing, John, you'll notice yourself after a while that sometimes when the people come back and you think you've noticed a little wobble or a shake or whatever in a line, only little bits, and then when they've come in again, you've thought, oh, it's like smoothed it sent out a bit, and they just, it's weird like that. Sometimes they just seem to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And this could heal out, smooth out just a little bit more. But you know what? Again, nice. Okay. This is different. This is definitely different. So I want to get in just a little bit closer.
This red is
saturated though. Like in my opinion, that red is saturated nicely.
I'm not right sure. This, because I've seen this on his is some of this a rework? I'm not right sure whether some of this were a rework and then you've added some into it.
Yeah, he says the stars are a redo, which makes sense because it's not jiving as well with the other pieces he sent. It doesn't look like something he would do, but if it's a rework, I think he done a decent job reworking.
Yeah,
that red is saturated. We got some
little bit of drop shadowing, and then you've got the dog, which is a nice, cool, stylistic dog's face, and it's not fully done, but it's all there. Your eyes are filling the rest of it in, and you know that.
Yeah, it's cool how the brain
works. It's well done. Yeah, and it just works.
Nice job, man. All right. Oh, here we go again. We got more. I think the same thing happened here. I'm not sure if maybe he's stenciling it one size and showing it another, but it definitely thickens itself up along the way. But it does look uniform. If you didn't see this, you know, for the most part, it's just pretty uniform.
It is, but I think this maybe is. I'm sorry to say, this may be your weak link here. Sure. This may be, John, because obviously you can see yourself and it's there on screen. There's your reference below, and that's what you've put on skin. And unfortunately, your reference and what you've put on skin do not look the same.
Right.
They're not really close, because we've got some really, really thin areas.
Some very
on
thin
that
areas.
writing. But you don't seem to,
you
don't seem to have translated them across. And I think this may be where you just maybe need to concentrate on is a bit of script work.
I agree.
All right.
All right, Andy, as usual, for the 15th time, I'm going to go use the little boy's room. I'll be right back.
Yeah. What I will say to start with, it's not the clearest of photos, John. You know what I mean? It's thing, but what I am going to say, I quite like it. It's looking quite red from this photo. What I will say, it is looking red, and I think it's going to look better when it calms down. But I don't know. Have you added this in to that tattoo when somebody else has done the other tattoo, or have you done the other tattoo as well that's healed behind it, and you're just adding a bit more on for him? But it's a nice. I would like to actually see a better picture. I would actually like to see this healed, because for some weird reason it's got a reddy purpley glow to it as this, and I'm just finding it a little bit hard to make out. But if you could get a better one, or when it's healed, it probably would.
It looks like they've done a few pieces here. If we scroll down here a little bit, we see a little bit of that same. It's like they're working around an existing piece. If they did this prior, then I imagine these shades will end up looking something like this. But you're right, it does have a bit of
other tattoo were done by somebody else, and they were just saying that it bled a lot while they were doing it. But yeah, I mean, obviously that's something you've just got to, unfortunately, get over some people.
John said the skin bled a lot and was going red real fast. The other tattoo was done by someone else and is healed. Okay, yeah. That does make sense. Yeah, I'd love to see this healed, man. Good, bad, or
Yeah,
ugly. Share it with us if you don't mind. We're looking at it
yeah,
here. I think what you've done here, it looks decent now, and I think it's going to heal okay. But it would be cool to see how it heals, because something could be red when it's tattooed. I mean, it doesn't look like it's been beat or anything. Personally,
no, just like
um,
it. To be honest, it looks like somebody's put a red hue,
a little
red
bit,
tone
yeah.
on it. Yeah,
Could just be
on
the
it.
contrast coming from the image sometimes
Could be.
too. Um, all right, let's see what else we got here. Oh, well, that's kind
Mm.
of trippy to look at. I've seen this done one, but to have them on both, this looks like I'm in like a cartoon or something here. This is
I
wild.
like this effect. I'll
I
tell you
do
what though.
too. I do
Is
too.
it? I'll tell you what though. If you pull back, Dave, come back out
Yeah.
thing. Is it me or does this client look like it's got a worn long giraffe neck?
Holy smokes, man! Look
He
at that
has got
thing.
a long neck.
Holy
It's like a
smokes!
giraffe.
I know his chin's like right there at the top, but still, man, he was like standing up tall, and he's like, "Whoa, holy smokes!"
But
But
going back to
yeah,
this
I
snakes,
love the effect.
the effect is good. And
Uh-huh.
he's done pretty well for, shall we say, symmetry either side.
Mm-hmm.
The one on
Yeah,
the
that
right
could
hand
be
side,
tricky.
the one on the right hand side actually looks a little bit lighter. I don't know whether that was done on the previous one and it's healed and it's maybe just done a little bit of touching up on it. And the one on the left hand side, as we look at it, is, I don't know. One just looks a little
Yeah.
bit lighter than the other. It
Yeah,
could
and
be the
it could
photo.
be they did this one first, and then this one second, and this one's showing a bit more redding, maybe. I don't know if that's making it darker or not, but yeah, a little bit. But overall, pretty cool. Pretty cool. I'm sure the person's happy
Yeah.
with it. It's really nothing I would, jump right out and say, "Ooh, change that." If I did, again, a lot of
No.
changes would all be personal preference, So,
Yeah.
sometimes I feel the need to say something about personal preference, other times no. Uh, this, in my opinion, just looking at it, got a little dark down here. Now that could heal out, and those shades could be like much more visible. Sometimes the skin gets red and creates this darkish effect as well. So maybe when this heals, it'll be a little bit more legible. Then again, maybe some white could help pop some of these spots a bit more and give
Yeah.
a bit more contrast.
I think a little bit of white in that, and I'm looking at the skin elsewhere, and I think it's a skin that's reddened on this.
Yeah. You can kind of see transparency through some of these spots, but because of that red
Yeah,
skin underneath makes it difficult. So again, yeah, maybe when
yeah,
this heals, we'll get
and
a little more variation.
especially in a few little white highlights, like you say, in the ship's like rigging and ship's boarding, and a couple of little things. Just not OTT, just a few little bit, and they just pulled it a little bit. But nice piece, man. Nice piece.
Yeah. Agreed, Andy. Agreed.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got here. Okay.
What I will say off the bat with this one, I'm not a lover of it. I think it's a style.
I think it's definitely the style. There's a few
I think
lining
it's a
issues,
style.
but I think
Yeah,
it's
there's a
overall the style.
few
Nothing
wobbles
serious.
and things online, but just the aesthetic look of it, I'm not a fan of this one, to be fair.
Yeah, I don't know if is it supposed to be like shiny, reflective? Is that what we're going for here? Like kind of like like a metal reflective look where we're catching. I'm guessing that's what it's supposed to be, but I'm not sure. And it kind of has a zebra feel to it, which I'm not a big fan of, like that zebra thing. But let's move on. Oh, that's it. Well, we ended on not the greatest note, but overall, John, looking good, man. Looking good, man. Thanks for sending us your pieces. Thanks for letting us take a look, guys. We're already over the time, and we have several tattoos left to go. I will do you guys. So we're gonna look at two more, okay? Just because once we hit that two-hour mark, I usually do one, maybe two more. Feeling generous today. We're gonna look at two more, and then we will start saying our goodbyes. Till next week. We got Matthew here. Matt said currently in Apprentice. This is after 2 months of tattooing fake skin. Okay. Have more if interested. Super nervous to send this in. I get it, man. It's definitely nerve-wracking. Send something in and have people take a look at it. But I think you must be at that point where you're curious, and only a couple months on fake skin. It's not a ton of time, but at least you spent some time, right? And it depends on how much time you spent actually working on the fake skin will make a big difference. So we're going to scroll through this one because I tend to make decisions too soon. So let's take a look here. And so far, I'm kind of liking this, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm liking the that eyeball. Just keep zoomed in on that eyeball.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
He's got in the centre, the pupil in the centre. Can you see where he's got the dark? I don't know, he's used a dotting effect. He's got the dark and he's got some lighter tone in there, and he's got a bit of white in there. Then as it comes around it, you can see he's actually he's got the star shape. Even though it's back in there and it's faint, he's got the star shape in. The teeth, all nicely razor pointed.
Crispy.
Yeah, he's got some nice line work going in there.
Yeah, plenty of lines running across here too. I mean, very out there. Stimpling is saturated decently where it needs to be. Nice little white highlight.
You just beat me to that. Some of the little white highlights, he's not gone OTT and he's kept them fine. And the work, I mean,
I love it right here. This section right here with those white highlights.
Yeah.
Really like it right there. Go ahead.
No, 2 months on. I don't know how long he's been practicing, but he just says he's only been on real skin, human skin, for 2 months.
Oh, I'll take a look at this.
Yeah, he's done
2 months. He said after 2 months of tattooing fake skin.
Oh, right. After 2 months of tattooing fake skin.
Yeah, and I mean, apprenticeship, I do believe as well.
But
just helping.
You've done well here.
I think
You've done well.
I think so
nice work, man. Nice work.
Cool. Very cool. And I remember I was giving somebody who did fantastic work last week, give him a little bit of a hard time with just like tattooing just white lines. But these are small and delicate, and they work for this piece. They're not overpowering as well. So just thought I'd throw that in there. Sweet. All right, Cesar Chavez, you are our last man up. Hey, man, my name is Cesar, and these are my first tattoos. I'd love to know what you think. Thank you. All right, Miss Cesar, we don't know how long you've been practicing or none of that stuff, but these are your first tattoos. Unfortunately, videos, they're not going to work because I have to download them. Do apologize. Okay, this looks pretty good.
It does look. It does look
pretty good. Yeah, this stuff can be scary sometimes because you can have the best, and then you get down here and you go to do your normal and just like burp the wrong way. Now you have this line out in the middle of nowhere. That is not perfect like the rest of your work, but this looks good.
It does. I mean, this is done some nice script. I mean, this
harder to read this one, but if I had to look at it from here, I'm gonna say it's pretty decent.
Yeah.
Okay, this man likes him some script. I love the dynamicness in this piece, man. Whew.
I think this kid's comfortable doing scripts.
Yeah, you can tell the people who are like, that's the thing, you know.
And I mean, this is on inside of
the bicep. This is
on inside the bicep here, and I mean, it's a soft skin area. It's not like tattooing outside your arm. Inside your arm is a soft skin, for want of a better word, baby skin area. But you see how it's got that crispy, bold lining, a bit of lighter shading, and then it's got that super delicate line round there. I mean, it's nice. It's nice as this.
Yep. Really like the shape he got out of these like two pieces right here where it feels like it's got shape to it. And then that thin line, like you said, man.
Yeah.
Very nice. Oh, on the back of the neck, let's see what we got. We got some very bold lettering, which from what I can see looks bold and nice. There's very light shading behind. Of course, it's red right now in this heels. It's going to be pretty light gray back there. Should look pretty decent, you know? Okay. Yeah, same over here. We got a pretty solid lines. Again, we can't get super close like we'd like to like get a little bit more understanding of where he's at. Excuse me. But
the line work looks well. I mean, it's like I say, for where it is and where it is on the body. Not the best of skin.
Yeah. Yep. We saw that one too.
Nice.
All right, we'll look at one more, Andy. I was gonna go till 2:10. We're not quite there. We got one more minute left there than us. One more. Please have a look at my first big piece tattoo I've done. I'm a new tattooist, and this is my 20th tattoo on real skin. But who's counting? This is done in probably on myself. So there are no victims, but please have a look. Any suggestions for improvement are very welcomed. 20th tattoo. Okay.
What I will say is fingers aren't looking too bad. At least nails come to end at fingers.
That's true. That's a good point. That helps it a lot for sure. She doesn't have very long fingernails, which is okay, but at least they go past the
fingers. I know.
Yeah, fingers. I think this bit of white they put in there works okay. I think it helps it out a little bit. It's not complicating. I think our lining is probably where we can see it, maybe needs a little bit of work, but I do like the texture
Yeah,
we have in here. A little bit of shading
the
here, lips. Not
the
bad.
actual
Not bad.
eyes in the top part, just the eyelashes could have been a bit finer and a bit sharper for me on that one. But
Sure.
it's not an ugly looking piece.
Yeah.
There's a cut. What I will say is the outline around the outside of it all, and especially near the top, it's a couple of places. It's a bit thick, a bit thinner. You can see what angle,
Right.
and looks like they've
Yeah.
had a couple of goes. And I think that's for me more of the letdown. He's done all this work, and then just the outline that goes around the outside is
Could have been a bit better.
Could have been a little bit better.
Yep. With that said, 20th tattoo, it's not bad at all. I think there's plenty of people out there that would be like, yeah, that's cool. I like that, Again, couple opinions. Think, could be a little bit better, but hey, you're working towards something overall.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. I think you're definitely going down the right road. It's not anything along the lines of like, oh shit, excuse my French, as I'm trying to get better at my bad mouth. Not that it's bad anymore. I've gone a lot better, but I'm trying to get to where there's even better. All right, guys.
I get going. I've got Tourette's.
You got Tourette's?
I've got Tourette's once I get going. That's what my family said to me.
Just developed that right now, Andy. Tourette's. Yeah, on camera. We saw it happen. Shoot. Guys, get in on the tattoo challenge. Get on This is the piece right here. Link in the description. Go ahead and download that piece, stencil that piece, tattoo these pieces if you want. You can do one, all three of them. You can do any of the pieces that you see in that link in the first link in the description below. There's a stitch, there's a dagger, there's snakes, there's this piece, just a variety of things for people at different levels. This is the current piece for this week. Are these three pieces? You can do one, all three, two of them, however you want to do them. It's totally up to you guys. And make sure you send those completed pieces, not to artmesomething@gmail.com, but tattoomesomething@gmail.com. And you can send them whenever you want. You are guaranteed we're going to critique them on this channel. You can call it a critique, you can call it a opinion, call it a look at, whatever you want to call it. We're going to do that thing. And we're going to do it first before we look at any other pieces. So it kind of guarantees people who aren't available to be here at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday to submit a piece and stay up all night or wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, depending on where you're located. You can do this. We'll take a look at it, So, Andy, do you have anything, buddy, aside from just appreciating you taking the time out every week to be here?
I said to everybody, well, usually we'd, you can, if anybody wants to know and they're going to go find me and that, I'm on.
I've been failing you.
Yeah,
Andy.
You haven't put it up all night, Dave.
Failing you, Andy. You gotta slap me around over here, Andy. Tell me so. God dang it, I feel like a turd.
There's my details down below.
Slap me.
First time all night. You know what I mean? That's it. I'm only just because I'm on the other side of that pond. You know what I mean, Dave? It's like you know what I mean. Just forget about him. He only turns up once a week.
I'm gonna make a new one, Andy, so we're both in it.
There you go. Obviously, for everybody, where I can't even know where my finger is. Down below, on bottom.
Yeah, you know what? There's 47 people at the end of the stream, guys. All 47 people.
Yeah,
following Andy. Go follow him. Support him for being here, man. Come on.
That's it. You know what I mean? It's just what is it? It's 1:15 in the morning, guys. Come on, at least give me a bit of love. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No big deal. I'm complaining about missing football. Andy's up till 1 a.m., 2 a.m. So, support those people who are helping you guys.
I gotta get up early in the morning and go for physio, so I don't get a line in the morning.
You going fishing?
No, I'm off for physio on my neck.
Oh.
Yeah, been suffering with my neck. So all down here. So I'm booked in for physio in the morning, nice and early.
Good luck with that, man. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
And then also, let me know when you Tuesday. Are you thinking about Tuesday, Wednesday, starting trying out the new machine, Neo?
What have I got on? It will be. Let me just tell you. Let me have a look at my calendar. So Tuesday, yeah,
Smoke. You have to
Tuesday,
create a new account, bud. Well,
yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday,
we gotta do
yeah.
that.
So Tuesday, yeah,
Tuesday. Cool.
yeah.
Cool. Cool. Yeah, I was gonna potentially live stream on Tuesday, but I think I just during the chat here, this is how tattooing goes, life goes, is we have to reschedule that one. It was gonna be a fun one. It's still gonna be a fun one. I still hope to live stream it, but it might be next week or whatnot. Let's see, guys. New video coming out. Nothing crazy. Just some real-time tattooing, a little bit of explaining what I'm doing, needles and whatnot. Nothing that is groundbreaking, but keep an eye out. It might be out Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. No big deal. I just really appreciate all you guys who do support the channel, support the new videos. And you know, I don't know where Andy's at with it yet, but maybe this winter, maybe sometime we might be looking at, is this still true, Andy? A possible indie YouTube channel.
If I can get everything, in place, and then make sure I've just got enough free time to do
Right, that's the thing.
everybody justice, you know, rather than just spewing crap out.
Yep.
Just making something that's worthwhile and that passes information on and helps people out, and that, because otherwise it's just you just be there just pumping crap out. That's it.
Yeah, it's tough, and that's why just for people watching, in regards to that, what you're talking about, Andy, it's kind of tricky though, because especially for me, I feel like I've kind of explained everything I can explain when it comes to different things. You know, I feel like we've gone around. I don't want to beat a dead horse forever. So I think that's why we started to move to these live streams, to really just start helping people with what they're currently working on. And again, big thank you to Andy for coming along here. It is much better when you have two people.
It's easier.
It is. It really is. I don't mind being like, Andy, what are your thoughts here, buddy? Because sometimes you need to take a minute to look it over while somebody else is saying something. And then you're like, oh, I see that there, you know? And yeah, and it's not easy to judge people's work all the time, because we are human, you know, and we make our own errors, and it, you know, so.
And it's like you say, I mean, you sat here for 2, and I mean, before we cut it down to like 2 hours because football's on over by over yours.
Here,
but we were on for like 3 hours, and when you sat there for 3 hours, and don't get me wrong, I mean, we've said this, we've said it off camera, that sometimes when you're there for 3 hours, you find, or 2 hours, that you find that you're saying the same stuff over and over again.
Right.
But then again, when there's 2 of you, both of you have got different take on things artistically. You also see different things.
Right.
Plus, let's be right. It also gives you a chance to go to a bloody toilet, or go get a drink without leaving everybody hanging. Without leaving everybody hanging, looking at a screen or a chair.
Right. And if you haven't known, the S in my subscribe has fallen off my little pillow back there, so it's up. It's just subscribe. It's just subscribe, guys. Just stop with the subscriptions. Just subscribe.
Yeah,
it's subscribing. It's a new thing.
But yeah, it's definitely. I mean, I don't know about you. I mean, because you obviously you've been sat on camera and done live streams a lot more than what I have. So, but I know for definite that when you bounce out and you go to the toilet and you're left on your own, at first you're like, you're like looking at it. Then you start talking and you go in, and then sometimes you think to yourself, because I can't move the mouse around, you know.
That's true. That's the hard part. Yeah.
So you're like trying to explain, and then it's like, have I said that? Have I gone over it again? And I've probably said the same thing 3 times over the same thing by the time you've gone. And sometimes it feels like you're gone for ages, but you're not. It's just because you're there and you're not bouncing off each other. It's weird. It's seriously weird. It
is an odd thing to, you know, when you look at something, you normally are, you know, collect your thoughts or what have you. And here being live is that, you know, you got to have a thought. And I think sometimes is you just have to lean on your opinion at the moment. And sometimes you're wrong, you know what I mean? For me anyhow, sometimes it's like, oh, wow, this could use love. And then I'll think back like, you know what? That was a little extra hard on that piece. Why was I hard on that piece? Probably because it showed more potential. And I thought that there could be more brought out of that piece, and so I think sometimes we're not perfect and not everybody's judged at the same
Oh
standard
no.
that we should. And yeah, it's a tricky thing, but I think as if we're helping people in some way, some capacity, or showing some entertainment for other people or some
Well,
encouragement, or
that's it.
what I mean? Like that's really at the end of the day, we get 50
And
so people hanging out with us, looking at tattoos. It's a fun
it,
time.
it's like we said, we're not here to beat anybody up. Just try. But then again, if it comes in really bad, like we have had a few, not so many, not so many.
Yeah.
We have had a few where it's a case of, well, unfortunately, please stay away from skin. Get on false skin if you're gonna. I know actually human skin and human canvases may be cheap, but
Mm,
you're marking people and you're scarring people for life. Just don't do it. And we have had a few that it's like, well, unfortunately, you'll need to dye your send back in, come off. But we're not
yeah.
here to beat anybody up. We try to be as nice and as just give pointers.
That's it, man.
A few criticisms and this, that, and other. But I mean, I see so many channels where they do this sort of thing, and it's like, well, you crap, you shite, throw your stuff in bin. You shouldn't be tattooing. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that. And
Mm.
let's be right, easiest thing in the world is to sit here and criticise work. But then again,
Go ahead, Andy. Sorry, buddy.
but then again, like I said, don't want to downtread. You know what I mean? Downtread anybody.
Right.
In the meantime,
because I do believe it's very easy to just tell somebody that, hey, that sucks, no good. Very easy, very easy. It's easy to tell people that, oh, that's fantastic, or that's bad. But I think it's trickier to try to gently do that and to keep people encouraged while still letting them know this isn't the greatest. Because again, at the same time, I'm not the greatest. You know what I mean? I have the same errors. I have done to do a tattoo where I'm not going to be in love with my lines, where it just didn't work out the way I wanted to, or what have you, or maybe I wish that was a bit different, or their skin got red fast and I just couldn't get what I wanted done. And saturations, everything. We're going to have days that are a little bit off as well. So it is always hard to judge somebody's work. But at the end of the day, I think that our intentions are good. Our intentions are to help. And I think that we're going to fall short sometimes. But when the intentions are right, the overall message comes across. And I hope that through this process, we are, I think we are helping different people along. I don't think we'll ever really understand the severe or the grasp, maybe how much somebody has been able to take from it and build up and create their own thing in their own life. And that's why I love when people share their stories, because it's encouraging. It's like, okay, cool. They're helping somebody,
But it's like I said to a lot of people, and they come and I've had them in shop and they wanted to learn. I mean, I say to them, one of your biggest tools is your own eyes.
Yeah.
Because you've got to use these to see whether is that line saturated. No. What do I need to do? I go a bit slower. Has that worked? Look with these again. Has it worked? Yes, it has. Right. No, it hasn't. Okay. I'll just either speed the machine up a little bit. Does that look right? You've got your reference at side here, and that. Put your tattoo up. Take a photograph of them. I mean, like we've said to people before, take a photograph of your work. Look at it on a photo. Sometimes it's a lot easier to see any imperfections, any mistakes looking at a photo rather than directly looking at your client's skin.
Right.
But these, an understanding, it's like one of them tonight on one of challenges. You said it on one that leaves, wasn't it? The lines won't go in like that, but that person should have had the reference bit and his bit, and then done one leaf and looked at it and thought, oh, I need to pull my act together. It's not same as my reference piece. So the biggest two things for me is using their own eyes and being able to critique their own work.
I agree. And again, I say again that if it were truly up to me, and it is up to me technically, that's a funny thing to say, But there's a lot of times where I don't want to post anything, any of my work, because I can always see plenty of imperfections. Some of them, many. But at the end of the day, I like the piece sometimes. You're like, I just like it, even though I see the imperfections. Or there's other pieces where you're like, I don't really care for this piece, but it's clean or what have you. But I think we are, if you're a trying or a good art, not necessarily you're a good artist, so you're just really trying, then you are going to see the imperfections in your own work more than some average person. You know, maybe another
Yeah.
person who's just kind of in the same boat as you is probably going to notice them more, but you're going to notice your own imperfections. So, but don't completely stop yourself from sharing your
No.
stuff, because you're never
Well,
going to be
no.
perfect. If we're waiting to be perfect, like I started this channel when I was just barely learning, I had to wait until I was perfect. I still would never have started a YouTube channel or ever started sharing anything along the way. So don't be afraid, but at the same time, know when something's not great.
It's like I say,
Know
you're
it's
going
a
to make
balance.
mistakes. Yeah, you're going to make mistakes. You're not going to be perfect.
Sure.
I once got told when I first started work, I mean, old bloke that I used to work with, and his favourite saying was, man who don't make mistake is man who don't work. You know what I mean? And that's
That's
it.
fantastic advice, man. Or a
But it
well
is,
put statement.
yeah. So you just got to do the best you can and be just super critical of your own work.
Yep. That's
And be
it.
willing to learn. Never stop learning, because once you stop learning and once you stop the willingness to learn, and just become complacent and super laid back, that's the time to wrap your machine up and back it in my
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah, I believe there's moments where we get somewhere and we hang out there for a little bit and we kind of refine this little bit of information.
Yeah.
But once you find that you're not evolving or things are getting static, you need to reach out and try to find some more resources, whether that's watching some other videos or something, or getting inspired again, or wanting to try something new, even if it's outside of your realm. Because if you're always evolving and trying different things in some way, shape, or form, it's going to overall make your work better. Maybe not immediately, but over the course of it. So you might be a realistic kind of person who tries traditional stuff. Well, that requires thicker lines. I mean, that's outside of your wheelhouse, but in the end, you didn't nail it. But guess what? Now you feel a bit more comfortable with those round shaders or larger needle groupings or packing solid color. There's just a lot of benefits of trying to push the boundaries of what you can do or trying something else and accepting the fact that maybe you didn't do that great. And again, I think that's where fake skin is a good tool to potentially just practice some stuff out, to try some techniques, to do different things, and then bring it back to real skin. Geez, got the hiccups and burps.
Just one quick thing. There's a comment just gone here from, is it Casey? And she's bang right here. She put, always strive to better my best and not to compare. That's it. But be inspired. Do not sit there comparing yourself to other people, because if you do, you will drive yourself insane. Because you'll
quit and your work will be worse.
And because the thing is, we always look when we're learning, when we're tattooing and that, we always look at people, or you look at pictures of this fantastic work and you strive to be there. But in the meantime, it's just messing with your head.
Right.
And it's just going to mess with your head and mess with your learning curve. And the other thing I'm going to say as well is that a lot of pictures that you see on the internet and that have been doctored in some way, whether it's contrast, saturation, using a dodge tool or whatever, and it infuriates me because, or they might have £3,000, £4,000, £5,000 worth of camera equipment and lighting equipment behind them, taking that one photograph, and you're trying to take it on a $200, $300 phone or whatever, and it's not going to happen. So don't even go down that road, because it's a slippery road to nowhere comparing yourself to a lot of this work that's out there. We've all looked, we've all thought it, but don't. And
I think there, and I have for myself, Andy, have gone down a road of, okay, well, if I just look at this person or this type of whatever, I feel like I'm just not going to get there. But I've looked in the past, I've looked at stuff and thought I'm not going to get there, and then have gotten there. but I haven't. If you look at this and you go, oh, geez, I'm just not there. That I can't get there. That's gonna break you.
Yeah.
You know, look at that and pick stuff from it, learn little things from it, and just naturally let yourself develop, and you'll get there if you're working at it, you know,
Yeah.
or you'll fall amongst the stars, you know. But yeah, if you're constantly trying to compare yourself, I think it's a hard thing to do. It's not good for the mind. It's not good for the just in general, man. It's just tough. Bunch of vapors, LF.
I just like
Hey, look, man. I quit
they're all
smoking cigarettes
smoking.
like a year and a half ago. The next step is to quit vaping, and I'm not sure when, but
Thing is, I've got no chance because I smoke cigarettes, and if I want to sit here for what 2.5 hours, and
yeah.
I didn't have this, that'd be it.
Oh,
I'd have been out 3 or 4 times. So
right.
I've got no chance. But it's
Absolutely.
all right for these. They're all laughing on other end of these comments. A pair of vapors and that. Yeah, you're sat typing away on your keyboard, watching us like that. You know,
Yeah.
vaping away or having a cig or everything. There's me and Dave sat here, and it's like, and if you notice, if you go back probably 4, 5, 6 weeks ago, we're both sat here and as it's gone on, the slowly come in, Dave, at vapes, you know.
I
It's
just
like,
started, man. It was probably a few weeks ago. I was like, man, 2 hours. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna vape a little bit. Now it's just like,
yeah,
just constantly. Like,
crack
I gotta
on.
remember not to blow it at the camera.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just helps a little bit. And eventually, and you guys obviously follow the channel, you'll know. Eventually, I'm gonna quit this. I'm gonna be out of everything, but I'm not there yet. Praise God. I gave up cigarettes about a year and a half ago, and that seemed impossible to me. But vaping did help me do that. I'm too weak yet to just go cold turkey. But anyhow, I understand if you guys are extremely heartbroken and offended by Team Andy Dave Vape Squad here, but
That's it.
y'all are a mess. Timber says, watching Dave blow it away from the screen. Yes, I'm trying to be very discreet, if you understand.
That's it. Yeah, I mean,
I've done plenty and developed. But yeah, this is a little insight behind when we usually end this. This is me and Andy talking right now, really, for the most part. You know,
to be honest, we've stayed on tonight. We just end up chatting crap like we usually do off camera, but we've ended up on camera and people are still in. And
yeah,
to be honest, we've picked some more watchers. They're up to 42 people watching.
We're just BSing like we normally do. Me and Andy sometimes, guys, we'll end the stream, be here for 2 hours, 3 hours.
Oh yeah,
Andy's like 3 or 4 in the morning over there. Tonight, my wife has requested that I'm home in the area by 9 p.m. So I have another 30 minutes, guys. Free time.
You got to be a good. Dev's been got to be a good boy this week.
That's right. Got to be a good boy.
Yeah. You must have been, you must have been bad through a week. You're not allowed to stay up late, are you, Dave? You got to be home before curfew.
I've been waking up so early, and I don't know why. Years in the military, I had to have like 4 alarms to wake me up. Now I just like wake up to pee at 5, and that's it. I'm awake. And I lay in bed like I could have gone to bed 3 hours ago. It doesn't matter. I'm awake. Crap. So I'm up. So I think eventually I just know that I gotta get some sleep. My wife knows that too. So she's like, you need to be, I'm gonna do the wife voice, and it's not her voice, so I better stop.
Yeah, she's probably watching you, so be careful.
Hopefully not.
Remember you're still alive, Dave. So just this time.
I know, it's right.
You know what I mean? So she's if boss is watching and that, you know what I mean, she'll be waiting for you at rolling pin when you get upstairs.
That's right. Hey, we ordered, we've tested out some t-shirts, guys. I am working on the Fear of the Beard, some Death Punching stuff, just whatever. I don't even care if you guys don't ever order it. I'm ordering stuff because it's fun. But eventually, here in the next few weeks, maybe a month, I'll have some links for you guys if you want to check them out. Winter's coming where I'm at, so I'm looking forward to getting me some hoodies. But anyhow, that's just some more stuff to throw in here.
Did you ever do a follow-up on UV ink that you put in your leg, Dave?
Not yet. That video, by the time I put that video out, people were like, yeah, we know everything we need to know about UV ink, Dave. Way to go. But it's been a few months that UV ink has been in my leg and healing. I haven't put it under UV light in a few to see how that is coming along. But we are going to be putting some UV ink in my wife's tattoo. We're going to be doing like a little where's the camera at? Little like dinosaur in outer space for my children. The one likes dinosaurs, the other one likes outer space. So dinosaur is going to be in outer space, and we're going to put some UV light around there. Usually once a year nowadays. Around my wife's birthday, give her some fresh tattoos, and so maybe around that time. So it could be a while, but at least I figure by then, Andy, I can talk to you, get some recording, me and you talking about how your experience with UV.
Yeah,
I have my own experience, and then I can have some experience, incorporating that into a piece as well. So I thought, why not hold on to the footage I have, do a long play video here, you know what I mean? It might not hit the masses, but I think it might help some people. So
yeah.
that's the goal there.
Well, like I said, I'd explained to you about mine, what I put in my leg, and the thing is, you see, I'm a blood thinner, so I bled a lot when it were going in, and the invisible hasn't really held in me. But I tell you what, it has done. Where I've crossed over the black, my black tattoo, and I've put the invisible in my black tattoo. The invisible ink. I've lost it, but I've also lost the black ink as well. I've got a white line through my black tattoo.
No kidding.
Yeah, I noticed the other day. I've got a white line through my black tattoo when I've put the invisible through it.
And we got two different brands we've tried too, so this is kind of fun. This is good too. I'm gonna get my leg out like it's hiding somewhere. I'm gonna get the UV light here probably in the next few days when I get a chance, and shine it on my leg and see how the different colors, see how the invisible UV ink is looking. I put that over black as well. I'm curious to see how that turns out. I did notice your invisible UV ink was more prominent and visible versus mine, which I couldn't see that as well. And even under UV light, you could see it a little bit better in real life, but in video, it looked a little lackluster. But to be continued.
That's it.
Or maybe we could put something together, Andy, and when you're ready, we can make that your video.
Whatever.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I think that would be a good push start for the channel. We're here to support the Andy, whatever name you come up with down the road, Andy. It's winter time. We're coming to winter time. You know what I mean? I think that's when stuff's going to develop. I mean, I wouldn't fancy to call the new thing we're coming out with the Tattoo Crew. Everything I do is very unoriginal. We have Art Something, super original, and now the Tattoo Crew. Like, wow, how original, Dave. So I don't know. We had a few options people left in the comments, Andy, but
one of them I won't go.
We'll see about that. They weren't that
good. But like I say, I've just, because if not, I'll do recording in studio. There'll be recordings out of my studio and everything, and pretty much like yourself, because all my equipment's in there. But I've also now back at house, just trying to sort of bit of a media room out, so I can stream and record and do stuff in there as well. So we'll just got to wait and see how it comes through, and then I've got all usual crap to get cameras and recording equipment and all that sort of crap, but we'll see how it goes. See how it goes.
Any questions or anything I can help you with, man, let me know.
There's
a few little things that I picked up along the way, not literally ideas, but literally tools that might help you out. I'll have to, a couple of little things. And I didn't know about them until way later. I'm like, boy, that would have been so much easier to hold my phone with, or whatever camera I was using. Stupid stuff that really helps out, in my opinion. But anyhow.
Well, that's it. I mean, I've got to feel my way through everything. But just you'd be like that. Well, WhatsApp messages or whatever. Be like, Dave, how do I do this?
A lot of it. YouTube sharpens the YouTuber, and I think some people have to realize that when we are tattooers first, YouTube second, and so the tattoo is the primary thing and the YouTube is the secondary thing. If you make YouTube your primary and tattooing your secondary, then there's going to be a power struggle there. And I went through that for a little while where, and I've realized that, tattoo it first and I make YouTube videos second. So if I don't have time to make YouTube video, it's okay. You know what I mean? No one has ever beat me up. No one's ever commented like, hey, Dave, you didn't make that Tuesday upload, and I learned to give
I
myself some
suppose it's one of
slack.
them as well. You gotta. It's like we were saying with tattooing. You've not got to sort of look at all these other tattoos and compare yourself and this, that, and other. And I suppose it's same with YouTube. And it's like you said, tattooers first. We know Steven Spielberg at making movies and quality this, quality that. It's just trying to get the information over for in the best quality and, shall we say, well, like we're trying to do, a chilled out atmosphere.
Yeah.
That you can do, because let's be right, nobody's going to sit around and listen to you if you're completely not a tool or arsehole, you know what I mean? It's just like they're going to be off and not. It's no good to anybody. It's just no good at all.
Absolutely. And I think another thing in tattooing too is I don't know, maybe just in life, is trying to stay humble in life.
Yes, you've got to do.
No matter what you're doing, no matter what you're anything, humility is a big deal. And it's easy in the beginning, but sometimes you can watch yourself very easily. I remember when I was just learning how to line, all of a sudden I was like, got this shit, and then you start to fail immediately. You cannot let any part of your brain go beyond where you're at or anything along those lines, or you'll quickly fall on your face. So
yeah, it's like you say, you got to stay humble. And another saying, it's like treat others how you'd like to be treat yourself. Exactly. I mean, if you're going to go out there and treat somebody like a complete and utter douche, then expect to be have the same treatment back. And when you get the same treatment back, don't whinge and moan about it, and don't be a complete ass about it, because you deserved every single part of it.
Agreed.
And there's just, and I think at one point you get to a point in your life where it's just like you get chilled out, and you just, I can't be asked with all this stuff. It's just like I just want a nice chilled out atmosphere. And if I can help, I can help. If I can't, I'll do my best. And if not, but I know somebody who can, I'll point you in their direction. That's it.
It is very true.
Yeah.
Very true. But it's always evolving. That's the fun part. You get laxed, and I have to say this channel has helped me a lot, because I think I've told you about this, Andy. Like when I started the channel and whatnot, it was I was still very much learning. We're always learning, but I was very much still learning, obviously, and go back and look. And there was moments where I wanted to quit, but I was like, you know what? No, I need to make another video. I need to make another. I built this little bit of a thing. It wasn't a lot, but I need to keep feeding that. People were like, oh, I get that. Even though my work wasn't really the greatest and still not the greatest, but but because of that accountability to the YouTube channel, it kept me in it long enough to really realize that, okay, I can do it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the kind of person that I'll get bored of something kind of quickly and move along. But the YouTube channel kind of helped me stay committed, because I had people who were, interested in what I might have to say a little bit, and so it's been good. I think, certain things happen in life for a reason. So anyhow, I guess I'll stop blabbering. Look at us. We're almost going on 3 hours here.
It's like I say, we do only thing we've done different tonight is we've stayed on and chatted with everybody, and still in chat, and it's nice to see that there's like still 30 odd people here.
Yeah, it's nice, especially for us, our little after party chat here that we
just, like I say, just usually sit here and chat crap off air, basically. Right. But just tonight, for some reason, it just made a nice change, just to, shall we say, just stay here.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, do a thing, but like I say, so I've got, so hopefully, Dave, anyway, like I said, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
Well, but what I've done, like I say, so I've got a machine. I don't know whether you can see it. I don't know whether you can see it. So I've got, so like I say, I've got it. And can you see, I don't know, can you see around the edge where it says?
Yeah, I see little numbers on there. Yeah,
it goes from 2-4 round to 4-2. So it's a nice positive click, on each stroke. It's a nice positive click on it. and I don't know whether
I can hear it. It's just doing a little buzzing, a little humming.
put it up to 8.5. I don't know
Sounds
whether you can
good.
still hear it. But I'll tell you what I have done.
I like the size with the battery. It's a nice
Yeah.
size.
Let's have a see what it's like, you know.
Yes, let's have a
Putting a car in it.
Let's see.
So, but this is one, like I say, that's one of their own, you know, Dragonaut.
Oh, did they
That's the
send you
Max Pro.
some?
No, I've got like 700 or 800 in shop, so that's one of theirs. So hopefully this should fit in.
Yes.
Nice and snug. Yeah, it does. Clicks in, you know, really nice. So let's
hear it with the. Oh yeah.
That's a 8.6. So I'm usually
That's probably humming pretty decent for that machine. Yeah.
I'm usually about there. So that's about 7. That's on a 4.2. And then I can't even see it, bloody. I can't even see it in the needles. I'm going blind, mate. And what I like about this, you can fully retract the needles if you want, you know, so that they're inside the cartridge.
Huh, interesting.
Right out. So that's running. That's running 7. I don't know if you can hear it. That's running 7 volts.
Oh, I can definitely hear. And you know what? That when it comes to these machines, like I said, I got other machines we're gonna be checking out in the future too. But really, at the end of the day, I like a compact machine. That looks compact with a battery in it, easy to wrap, adjustable stroke, readable battery.
Yeah. If I put
for under $200.
Yeah, that's my hand.
It's hard to beat.
You know what I mean? I think it's 5 inches in total, you know.
Yeah.
Total with it on. And obviously when you take that off and you can have the RCA.
So if that battery, I know you only have one battery, Andy, but the idea there is if that battery were to die on you, you could pop that RCA plug in and maybe take some other wireless battery and plug it into that.
So just take that one off. Pop your RCA connector on.
Yeah.
And it's obviously that makes it at that point it's even smaller.
Right.
Then you could have because you've got the critical batteries, haven't you? And you could either pop a critical battery back and use it, or you can plug it in. It's not very heavy.
Nice.
It's all metal, and I'm assuming. Let's have a look. Yes, all comes apart. You know, for easy cleaning.
Oh, that's nice.
You do get spare. They send you spare, you know, O-ring kit.
Yeah.
And that for it. So
and you said that goes from what 2.5 to 4.2?
It goes from 2.4. So what you've got is 2.4, 2.7, 3, 3.3, 3.6, 3.9, 4.2. To be fair, I think if they maybe knocked the 2.4 off, I don't know if they knocked the 2.4 and the 2.7 off, and they did a machine that went from 3, but then did a 4, 5, and a 5, I think that'd be cool.
Oh, yes, I would have one heck of a one. Because I really do like a 4 plus stroke for lining mainly and color packing as well.
Yeah.
And I get, you know, when it comes to machines, they're a motor, a stroke. Those are the two main things because you can't really go beyond that. I always say this, and I've told you, Andy, I'm really used to shading with the Bishop One shader, and I've shaded many times with the Packer, so I know it's not the end of the world. Because sometimes you get scared when you get so used to a particular thing to try something new. But I am looking forward to trying a few new things moving forward, and I'm really curious how you like that because I think the price is solid, especially for people who are looking for something that's got that much adjustability for around $200 with a wireless battery included. I mean, that's a hard package to beat, and I think some other companies are going to have a hard time in the future combating some of these other companies who are giving people a lot for the money.
It's a cordless motor, you know, that's in it.
Yeah.
And that, so it's not a brush motor, it's a cordless motor that's in it. And that it is a swash drive. But like I say, it's a cordless motor that's in that one. It would just like I say, 'cause with having all the, shall we say, bonus points that I could cash in as well, that it was just mad just not to give it a go, basically.
Right.
But what I am, what I am going to do, and I'll be honest with you, I've got my eye on the machine, and I spoke to you, I think it was the other week, and I'm going to order it. And it's a wireless machine, comes with 2 batteries. It's a 4.0 stroke. All right. And I'm going to order it. And do you want to know how much it is?
How much?
$60.
Dang.
$60. I spied one, and just for shits and giggles.
Just to see what you're getting for $60, just for the heck of it. Like, what am I getting? Are you getting 2 batteries that are halfway decent, even as backup batteries or something?
Well, they're supposed to be 2 1800 amp hour batteries.
Okay. All right. There's potential there.
So I'm going to, so you get 2 batteries, the machine with a 4.0 stroke, just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
I'm going to see whether, what it's like for $60.
Yeah. See what's out there. I said the prices are varying throughout. What you're gonna, it's really tricky. I know to be new in tattooing right now at this exact moment, it's confusing because there's so many machines. There's so many opinions. I have my own opinions. There's opinions where, I mean, I don't know. I know in other countries, maybe, and I'll probably to have the pew-pews, the real ones, pew, 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 pew. The internet, YouTube's not a fan of these things. They all do the same job, but you tend to like certain ones more than others. And it's not necessarily because they pew any differently. It's just certain things about him you like. So to walk into this thing and people are going like, I like this and I like that. And you're like, why do you like that? It's like all the fine little minute details and things that you might like something for, but it doesn't mean that somebody needs to spend 3 times as much for that. That's just, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's a weird thing because there's so many options out there. And I know a lot of people think like, I need to buy the best because that's going to be the best, but that is so subjective. It's not even funny to what is the best. So it is tricky for people out there who are like, oh, this guy's using this, and this guy's using that, and this guy's using this and that, and blah, blah, blah. Tricky stuff. So a whole bunch of people sharing their thoughts and opinions that you got to try to dissect through and decide what the best is for you.
Yeah, and I'll be honest. I mean, it was so hard for me to buy another machine because the machine that I'm using at the minute, which I've told you, I've been using for the last 3 years. It's never missed a beat.
Right.
I have the same machine. I got 2 machines, so I've got 4 batteries, 2 machines. I never had to use my backup machine.
Right.
At all. My original is still running strong. It's never missed a beat. I've got 4 batteries. Each battery's 1800 amp hour, and where I use it, I can get 10, 12 hours out of a battery, no problem.
Right. They last a long time. I don't care. Like most of these. And for me, I've used quite a few different machines, and I really, maybe it's because I really invested, but I like the Bishop Wand shader for shading. I really love that machine for shading. The Packer, I love that as well. It does great for lining. It's great for packing color. But at the end of the day, it's really just a 4.2 millimeter stroke machine. Truth be told, direct drive. There's plenty of machines like that you can get for a lot less money. And the only thing I like about the shader is it has a brushed motor. So it's a weaker motor, which has allowed me to get a bit of a softer shade personally. But when I first got that machine shaded with it, I was like, I don't like this. Like, what is going on? But I used it for a little bit and got used to it. So that's subjective as well. But my backup machine to those machines is the CNC XW Plus. It's just because it has its own batteries and they're always charged and I can't use them with anything else. So they're just like on the back burner in case anything were to happen. And I haven't had to use those either. But I do look forward to trying a few new machines in the future. And I'm very interested about the new machine you got, Andy.
Yeah.
I've seen a guy do a ridiculous tattoo with the cheapest tattoo machine he found on the internet. I think $8 to $12. And I think it all comes down to the artist. It's a needle and a motor. Absolutely. Let me share this up here right now because really, Danik, at the end of the day, that is the truth. And that's why sometimes I think the needle almost is more important than the machine sometimes because the machine's gonna send that needle in and out at different strokes. It's up
Like I
to you
say,
to control that.
but that statement then also goes back to what we were saying just not so long ago about that artist is using these.
Sure.
Where that machine's running usually too slow for him, or usually too fast for him, or hitting a bit too soft or a bit too hard, he can see using these what that machine is actually doing and adjust these to suit. And that's what it's about.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It's all right, yeah. A lot of people fall into this trap. You've got to have a $1,600 machine to produce good work, or you've got to have a $2,000 machine, or you've got to have this, you've got to have that. This is where big companies get you, and in my eyes, they get you to fall into this trap. Yes, they are good machines. Yes, they are gonna probably last. But let's be right. I mean, I think we had a laugh about this the other week. We were off camera. That when the hell did they start doing it that you had to do software updates for a battery? A battery's a battery. Why should you be having to do a software update for a battery?
Yeah,
why would you want to plug your bull?
Plug your battery into a computer into a software update? What are they updating? I mean, there might be things outside of my understanding, but at the end of the day, it should just be a battery. It should just power your machine, and it shouldn't need software updates. Like,
no, not on a battery.
Why am I paying an extra hundreds of dollars so I can update the software on my battery? And a lot of times, nothing ever comes out. They did this in vaping years ago too, where it was like, oh, you can update software updates. You can plug it in, and nobody ever put out any software updates. The technology moved too fast. People just buy new stuff by then. Never any updates ever have. Not to say that this is the case. Just saying, gimmicks are gimmicks. This person says Cheyenne has improved my work. All right, sure. I could say the same about the bishops, but did they really, or did I just take a machine and learn to work with it and develop?
Yes, have you just found a machine that you feel comfy with?
That's it, Andy. I think you nailed it right there. Sometimes you
find a machine that you're comfy with, and you move along with it.
Right. And whether it's $100, $600, $1,000. It's unfortunate when it's an $1,000 machine. I mean, it's probably good that you spent all that money and you're comfortable with it. That's a plus, because that would suck if you're not. But I think that's it, Andy. I think you really nailed it right there with that statement.
It can be a silly thing. It might not be the stroke. It might not be the battery. It might more be the balance of the machine, or the thickness of the grip, the shape of the grip, because everything's changed from machine to machine, and it's the silliest of little things that
make the difference.
The difference, like that machine that I've just shown you there, as it's come out of the box, I've got no chance of you being able to use that, whatever, because my grips have got to be
bigger,
that fat.
Yeah,
they've got to be that fat of my grips, so that my hands sort of like round it, like that. Otherwise, no matter what I use, I'm just never going to be able to use it. But like I say, it can be anything from just how it feels in your hand. Never mind, just it's the machine, the motor, or whatever. Like I say, it can be just the silliest of little things.
Yeah, I agree. It really comes down to trying a machine out, getting comfortable. I mean, the first machine you ever use, you're never going to know whether it's good or bad. I think that was my struggle. It's like, I don't know if it was good or bad. Like, it's just the first machine I'd ever used. And so I think for a lot of people, they don't want to have that question. So they spend a lot of money and they get like a high-end machine. So they go like, look, I got like a name brand thing here, so I know it's not the machine. But at the end of the day, they're pretty much a motor and a casing to hold a needle. And it's going to come down to what you feel comfortable using. Yep. And that's that. I mean, if it's an expensive machine that you just fell in love with, so be it. If it's a cheap machine you fell in love with, then buy two. Just like, why not? If you're doing work that you like, then do it. So on this channel, I will continue to present varying ranges of tattoo machines. If somebody says, we'll send you this, I'll check it out. We'll try it. But at the end of the day, I hope that the few people who are watching this right now understand that it doesn't matter what the machine is. If it's working for you, it's working for you. Don't feel like this overall pressure. It's like, oh, I got to try this. Andy and I have tried plenty of machines, and from high to low, I've fallen in love with the cheapest machines. I've fallen in love with the most expensive machines. Well, not quite, but
and again, the other thing, and we spoke about, is that people are learning a tattoo, and you're just getting into it. You're learning a tattoo. You don't want to be spending $700, $800, $900,000. You know, just learning. It's like it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money out of your pocket. So if you can get something for $200-$300 or whatever, that's working, it's, do you know what I mean? And that even while you're learning, then you find you want to upgrade, then albeit all well and good, but you just got to be, as I say, careful, and not fall into the I've got to have this trap, otherwise my work won't be any good.
No, I've had plenty of some cheap machines. Just really ran, and I've given them away. I've given plenty of them away on the channel. I still love the Q2. I think it's a good machine, but there's so many more out there that are. Anyhow, guys, I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but
no,
it's just don't get wrapped around the axle of thinking like, I paid twice as much, so it should certainly last twice as long. It doesn't matter. I got these really expensive batteries that somebody sent me, like $250 a pop for these. And I've had one die, and I've had these cheapo $30 ones that have been running for like 4 years, never had a single issue with them. So what's the difference? I tested them both. They're both outputting the same amount. But then again, you could buy that same battery, that cheap one, and get a dud. It happens on the high end, happens on the low end. Okay. So don't get too beat up around this idea. Just find something that works for you, stick with it. And then evolve if you want, like Andy did. He's like, screw it, I'm going to buy this machine. I don't need it. I want to try it out. It really piqued my interest at a good price. I'm going to do it. Screw it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the way we do it.
Well,
but anyhow, guys, it is 9:01, and I've got to get back. And, so I'm going to blame it on Andy regardless. So I'm not really worried about it.
I'll stick my hands up.
But, guys, if you enjoyed the stream, guys, and you're here and you want to give it a like, do so, subscribe. We'll see you guys next Sunday. I'm glad we got to spend the last hour just BSing. You guys got a little taste of what we do when we end the stream. Me and Andy do what pretty much we just did for the last hour. So, oh my gosh, still burping. Guys, thank you for being here.
Yep.
And we'll see you guys next time.
We'll see you on the next time.
Peace.